Gentlemen, we said less than 100%. 50 would be lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the least requested, least demanded, and the least downloaded wrestling podcast, PCW. This could be a long podcast, so strap in and shut up and don't be a little bitch about it.
To the masters. Ruthless aggression.
Hey, it's your host, Semi-Dry Chicken. And, you know what? I think we're going to review Hell in a Cell. I'm back for Hell in a Cell. I was kind of surprised with how it turned out. And you know what? I thought about it. I'm just going to bring back the same guys. So, with that said, I am bringing back...
It's our time now to let 'em know. It's our time now to let 'em know.
Welcome back to the show, Dre, as always.
Yeah, let's do it again. Hell in a Cell, let's run it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, and returning for his second episode...
Step up, bring it. Yes, sir. Somebody gon' get their ass kicked.
All right, Dave. Welcome back.
Yes, you do.
Man.
Devo in the house. Let's get this Hell in the Cell. You know what I mean? On and popping.
Yeah, guys, episode 10. We finally reached episode 10. I mean, it's
Awesome.
a lot of
Congratulations,
people.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, for us, I think it's a big deal. I mean, some people can. It's a lot of work for any kind of a podcast, and it's so easy to just quit and just walk away after a few episodes and just but just got to keep at it, and it's something to look forward to at the end of the week or whenever I decide to record. Especially if we have like a really shitty pay-per-view. So it's like, man, that really brings up my spirits. Have something to crap on. Dave, since our last show, we did the predictions, not too long ago, only a couple days. Between then and there, in this episode, tell us what happened. What happened? It's, here we go.
Oh, man.
Good news, everyone.
It's been a wild ride right now, you know?
Yeah, tell us.
It was some good predictions with the, what we had, the Judgment Day. And,
oh, man.
what else was there?
I'm talking about the addition to the family.
Oh, my addition. Oh, okay.
The addition to your roster, man. Let's talk about it. What happened between the last two episodes?
Well, we got a little Axel now. You know what I mean? Little Axel Neil Foster now. So second young boy, and little bundle of joy.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. It was a wild ride. I had to. He wasn't supposed to come this early, to be honest. He was supposed to be here like 2 or 3 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. But she had some little bit of complications. Wasn't too bad. We had to get him out earlier than usual, but he was already cooked, so he was ready to come out anyway. But he's safe, and he's healthy. Mommy's healthy, and just loving him now, man. Feels good. Feels good, man.
That's great, man. Another addition.
Yes, sir.
Addition to the roster.
Yes, sir.
That's
Definitely,
right.
Uncle Wayne.
All right, man. That's great. I'm gonna have to come over and visit. I'm gonna drop by.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. Nicole's gonna want to, bro.
Absolutely.
No, she is.
Got to get the girls together.
Fingers in.
So, Dre, how you been, man?
I've been doing all right, man. Just the same old.
Same old.
Working.
Man, got some news. I I finally caved in and I got 2K22.
So you just got it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm late. And the reason was
which is surprising.
It is surprising. I'm normally the guy who always pre-orders and gets it, but I was really on the fence about getting this one, and I did hear some good reviews, but I'm going to tell you guys now a couple. Like I stayed up, maybe like an hour or two later than I should have last night, working on my created character, and that's normally right where I go, is to create your own wrestler. And I'm just not impressed. Like, I don't have as much options and flexibility as I used to in older versions, especially making the entrance thing. If there's anything that I'm a real stickler for, is being able to make a great entrance for my created character. I mean, this is a wrestler that I want to take online, and I want to get online with some friends, and let's make a stable. Let's run hell through the leaderboards. But like, I want a good theme music. I don't want the same music everybody else has. I don't want the same basic generic entrance. But it seems very generic. I'm not impressed. That's where I kind of like set the controller down. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll come back to this a little bit later tonight after the podcast or tomorrow. I've only had it for less than 24 hours. I'm trying to not judge it too harshly. I do like the graphics so far. I haven't really gotten the ring wrestled yet because I want to do my move sets and stuff. Like, I'm a kind of guy it takes a couple days to make my created character. But, yeah, I put too much detail, too much work. Yeah. But you guys.
I mean, if it's your character, it's a reflection of you.
Yeah,
you got to get them right.
It's my gimmick.
Right about that. Yeah, I mean, I like, but I see. I started making the character. I still haven't finished it, man. I got it, and I pre-ordered the game. I had the NWO version. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I freaking started a character, but my main thing, the first thing I did was do the Rey Mysterio story, man. Because that was pretty awesome to play, to relive that. You know what I mean? Like that was fun. I care a lot about that. But when it comes to you're telling me about making the character. I didn't know all of that because I never got to really dig into that yet.
Oh man,
you know, I've just been playing with I'm a sucker for doing the story mode part, and then I just go and play with like people like Stone Cold and The Rock, and I just want to see how they play, the old school era guys. You know what I mean? So I like to play with them real quick, see how the gameplay is with them, kick some ass. And then just make a character,
Yeah.
But I never got to go and get in there and make a character yet.
Now, I think that this one you can cross-platform play. Because I play on Xbox.
Yeah, I think you can, yeah.
Yeah, so if
That's
anybody wants to play some wrestling with me, I'm totally down. Like, just add my gamer tag. Like, it's, believe it or not, it's semi-dry chicken. Like, you can find me on Xbox and Steam. And, you know what? I think if we get a bunch of people together, I'll even throw it up on my Twitch channel or on the YouTube channel even. That'd be kind of cool.
I think we should get a Royal Rumble going.
A little Royal Rumble, a little tournament.
Heck yeah, man.
Do it,
Heck yeah.
Maybe kind of to the pay-per-views, the calendar now. So, Money in the Bank is coming up. But I don't know.
And you know what else? It's corny. It's corny. But you know what else I did?
What's up?
I started making people win the title they used to have. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin is the Smoking Skull champion. You know what I'm saying? John Cena is the spinning wheel champion. You know what I mean?
Those guys just look right with those titles,
I was a little
man.
corny about it,
I just don't. It's just because they look right with those titles. They don't look right with anybody else.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's
what
I would do the
So
same.
I just did that. You know what I mean? That's just fun. Just put some fun into it. Then it's if I want to try to take the titles from them, I'll try.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing I want to say about the game real quick is the community creations. I always like going to, because as soon as a wrestler changes their gear, or we get a new wrestler that debuts that's not in the game. Like, for instance, Cody Rhodes, not in the game. For me, the biggest upset, because I would love to have that theme music for my entrance,
Yeah. Yeah, but they can always
I
put him
get
in
it.
there, though.
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
that's what I
they
think.
can
I
always
think
make
they should
another.
just
You'll be
add
paying
him
for
as a
him in DLC.
Yeah, that
Yeah, because
that'd be a nice
because
DLC.
almost in them came later, right? Don't they have a DLC for like almost and
Yeah, what didn't
somebody
they add
else?
him in with like the Samoan
Yeah.
pack or something like
Did
that?
Yeah, they
It featured
did.
a bunch of like Yokozuna, I think, Umaga, and some others, and they threw almost in there as well.
Yeah,
I
that
just
was the
think for
DLC that came
full
out like
year-
not too long ago. I think.
Yeah, for a full year, they should just continue DLC. Just drop more wrestlers, scan these guys, put their characters in. Like,
Yep.
it sucks that, like, when I'm going through that roster, a lot of these people don't work for the company anymore. I was like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, Samoa Joe, the Iconics, yeah, don't work for the company. None of these people. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah.
it would be nice to get that. Or I do recall, I can't remember the name, but I do recall at a point, I did have an Xbox version where I was able to upload my own music from my Xbox as long as I had the music saved on my Xbox. Now, that's a long time ago,
Okay.
and that's like the
Oh
latest
yeah,
I
that's
would've-
like some Xbox 360
Oh,
era
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You're right about that. Remember
because
that?
that's like that's the length I would go to have the entrance theme that I wanted. You know, like I was
Yeah.
like, even when like CM Punk left, I was like, I was so happy. I was like, oh man, he left, but like he was still in the game like that year. You know, that following year, because I was like, I need to have Cult of Personality as my theme music. You know. But,
Now they still pay. I'm wondering, do they still pay these guys for having them in the game, right? I'm
think so.
talking
Some
about people who
royalties of
they
some
don't
kind.
hold the names to, like
I'm
Samoa
guessing
Joe.
that.
That's his name. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
They
I'm
don't own the
guessing
rights
those
to
deals
Samoa Joe.
My guess would be that those deals were probably worked out beforehand at the time of them making the game and deciding who was going to be included in the game. There was probably some deal worked out where, like, all right, you're going to be in this game and we're going to compensate you with such and such beforehand. Otherwise, if they had to work something else afterwards, I don't see why any of these. Well, I can understand why some people would go ahead and say, yeah, you can go ahead and keep me in the game. It's like, as long as you get paid, especially if they're not working. But
They probably get royalties.
also
You
wouldn't
know
see
what I
much
mean?
incentive for the WWE to keep them in the game either if they're not on the roster. So my presumption is that these are deals that are either baked into the contracts that they already signed, like, hey, as you being a part of WWE, we have the right to use your name and likeness and, all other media advertising or any other media that we have at the time, whether it's like a movie or something like that, or a video game or what have you, and you'll be compensated accordingly when we choose to use you, should we choose to use you. So I'm guessing those were probably already part of the contracts. And then at the time when 22 was in development, those people were still part of the company. So that's probably why WWE is okay to use them for at least for this year. And obviously, they won't be in the next year's game or what have you unless they return to the company. But
Yeah.
Fingers
and that may
crossed.
explain why. And that may explain why Cody isn't in it yet, because they probably
He's
have
in
not worked out.
he's in the AEW game too, so that might mean
Right.
something to-
Yeah, he may have been at AEW at the time, and so they now probably have to either work out some new deal to include him in something. Because I imagine it's probably in his contract for deals for games and stuff going forward. So obviously, 23 he's probably automatically baked in, but they may have to work out some sort of separate deal to include him in 22, given that that wasn't negotiated beforehand. If it wasn't negotiated beforehand.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I also saw Braun Strowman and Jeff Hardy, and I was like, oi, oi.
Yeah.
It was like all of them. I was like, it was like opening up wounds. I'm like, oh, that's right. All these guys recently got fired or left.
Yeah.
Oh, it stings. Like, if you just look, if you have a list with the past 3 years or so of just people who got released, it's mind blowing of the talent that they let go.
That is true, man. It is. It's true.
And they're paying for it now.
Yeah, they're paying for it now.
Definitely.
But
Can't
so let's kick
can't
this
take
off.
a break.
Yeah. So
All these people top people done got hurt. So, what are they gonna do?
we're gonna kick off this Hell in the Cell pay-per-view that was held June 5th in
Yes, sir.
Chicago, Illinois. The attendance record was 12,834, And obviously the first thing I think about when they go to Chicago is Mustafa Ali, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
totally.
That's not a lot.
Totally. When you're like Chicago, right? Give me one of the best wrestlers from Chicago. I'll wait.
CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly. I think immediately. And it's like
I'm sorry, but that's who I always think about when I think about Chicago.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
And you know,
sorry,
I think of a lot of the pay-per-views that were there, like Money in the Bank and stuff.
I must be old then, because you say CM Punk for Chicago, I always think of the Road Warriors.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one.
You're right, though.
I don't even remember if they were actually from Chicago themselves, but I always associate Road Warriors back in the day with the Chicago street fight matches from
you're right.
the WCW NWA days.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's just that CM Punk made it such.
He repped Chicago all day.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's like seriously a Chicago-hearted person, so it's like that's the only reason why I just think of him right away when I say Chicago.
Ooh, Montez Ford, Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
I think Lex Luger was hailed from Chicago, Illinois, too, back in the day.
Kalisto, Armando Estrada, Mr. T, Cora Jade. The Road Warriors. Maria Kanellis.
And the crowd. Always think of the crowd as well.
Yeah,
too.
the crowd is the big thing about Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago always has a live crowd for no matter what's in town. That Chicago crowd always shows up and turns out.
And they're rowdy as shit, and I love it.
Yeah. The only other crowd besides Chicago, I think, like, not even in this country, like when they go over to UK and all that, they never stop out there. They never stop, bro. I love it, though. I love it. Like, I know they love being out there in the UK because when they go out there, they're chanting their chants, and oh man, it's awesome. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, but they make a hell of a lot of money over there too, because I heard they're charging an arm and leg for tickets, and then you come over here, and then it's like Money in the Bank, $20. It's like, please come.
Especially when they go over there, considering it's something that they do maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah, that's a big.
They charge that premium, and then you get it if you're doing it at a large enough stadium, like they did Wembley back in the day or something like that. And you can, with it being a premium event at a massive stadium like that, like that's a huge income boost for the WWE. That's a huge payday for them.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
So, we did talk about how this is like an all Raw, basically. Pay-per-view, but they labeled it Raw / SmackDown, even though I didn't really see
that. Yeah. Which they could technically do by slipping one SmackDown match in at the last minute.
Yeah, right? And then having Michael Cole from SmackDown on, of course, and we had Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton. What the fuck was Corey Graves wearing? He looked like the skeleton from Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack Skeleton. Did anybody else notice
Skeleton.
that?
I had no idea.
Hey, I thought he looked like one of the ghost characters from Encanto.
Oh my God. He reminds me of there was a Mentos commercial of a guy in a black suit, and he's sitting on a park bench, and it just got painted, and he has these lines on him. These paint lines, and he's like, I have to go to a job interview. And then he's like, wait a minute, I take a Mentos, and he rolls on it, and it's just like, it's perfect lines on his body. And then he's like, and then the painter's like, oh my God. And he's like, don't worry, I took a Mentos. He goes, and he takes the paintbrush, and he tips his hat with it. Like, clever. I can't believe I remember that damn commercial. Oh my God, that's a long commercial.
So many Mentos commercials too.
But anyway, Corey Graves. I don't know what the hell he was wearing. But they kick off the pay-per-view with a pretty good match. They had the women's triple threat for the Raw Women's title with Asuka versus Becky Lynch versus the defending champion Bianca Belair, and I gave this a 4-star match. And I thought it was a great opener. I mean, it was quick. it was quick as in like it was 18 minutes and 56 seconds, plenty of time for all three of these women. But like in the ring, it wasn't slow. There was a lot of good spots. I love ones. There was a few spots. Bianca did it twice, where like Becky would try to run at her, and she has Asuka in the corner, and she doesn't even turn around, and she just does a backflip, and Becky goes right under her. There was a lot of really good spots in this match. I'm like, as we speak, like I'm rewatching it again. Like it really got the crowd up and going. I like the double moonsault that Bianca did to both of them. But like we kind of, we thought that maybe the possibility Becky could have stolen this. Like that's how I thought it may have gone down. I mean, we all knew Bianca was going to win, but if anybody else was going to win, it's going to probably be Becky with a steal, and Asuka would take the pin. But it kind of went the other way. I thought that's how it was going to go down, and no. Becky hit the finisher, and Bianca threw Becky out, and Bianca pinned Asuka. And I was like, okay. All right then. And I was really satisfied with this match. I was satisfied with the outcome. Just the amount of momentum that was carried through this entire match from beginning to end. Like the superplexes and I mean all the normal top rope spots we see when it's like three people doing the superplex. Would this have been better in a Hell in a Cell? I don't think so, because I think they did a good enough job. We didn't have to see this one in a Hell in a Cell, because I know a lot of people kind of complaining that we only got one Hell in a Cell match, but it did pay off at the end. So, but Dre, what'd you think of this match, man? What'd you get it?
Oh, this was an absolute 5-star match for me across the board. You had three women bringing their absolute A game from start to finish, with so many spots that are just memorable, from Asuka's double ankle lock on Becky Lynch and Bianca to, like I said, like you mentioned, the numerous backflips that Bianca would use to counter one of them. And throughout the whole match, it was genuinely up in the air throughout the entire match on who would actually win, because no one competitor maintained an advantage for any significant length of time.
Definitely not.
One might get the upper. Yeah, exactly. It kept it believable. Like one person would get the upper hand for a little bit, and then here comes the other one right back in to break it up. Also, now they have the upper hand on somebody else, and it's just constant back and forth action. So much creativity in all their moves, and the finish with Bianca winning at her own game, or beating Becky Lynch at her own game. Like, stealing her finish, well, not stealing her finisher, but stealing the fact that she landed her finisher and then throwing her out the ring and getting the pin for herself. I thought that was, it towed that fine line between being brilliant while not necessarily being a heelish move on her end. Just because of the fact that I think it worked because it was Becky Lynch who did it, and the fact that she was countering Becky Lynch as the heel. So it saved Bianca Belair from coming off as a heel, and instead made her look like, as they said, she beat Becky Lynch at her own game.
Exactly. She didn't come off as a heel at all.
Right.
Is it right?
Right. Everybody hit their signature moves, and honestly, nobody got caught with a KOD in the match.
Yep.
Nobody got hit with a KOD. The only finisher you saw was Becky Lynch's manhandle slam. That was the only finisher landed. And so for them to be able to put on a match that good with so many spots without relying on their own individual finishers is a testament to those women and their talent as well.
Yeah.
So
how about
this match was a 5-star match for me across the board. I loved it.
Nice, 5-star. I'm gonna write this down. Nice. All right, Dave. Let's hear it, man.
Yeah, man. I agree with Dre, man. 5 stars, man. I mean, you always want to start the show off with a pop. You know what I mean? And I think it being the ladies that came out there and did their thing like that. You know what I mean? You got to give them their props. You got to give them 5 stars for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, these are. I feel like these are 3 of the best. You know what I mean? In the WWE right now. You know, I've always had praise for Asuka. I always will, because and to be honest, Asuka has not reached her full potential at WWE. Honestly, Asuka is so much more. If you know her in Independence, you know what I mean. Like, she can be so much more. And
especially in NXT.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness, man! And even NXT, bro. Asuka has this dark presence that she used to be in the Independence. That I'm pretty sure Vince and them, I don't know if they just don't want her to use that character, but man, she has something else that goes with her, that, you know what I mean, that could put her at the top, even as a heel. You know what I mean? But you know, I just really think they were on sync in this match. All 3 of them. All 3 of them had so much good chemistry in this match together. Like, everybody was on point. Everybody knew their role, and they just did it right. Like, I don't need to say much. Dre said most of it. He was on point with everything, and I feel the same way, man. And I just think they rocked it, man. I think the ladies rocked it.
Yeah, there's like 2
good
or
icebreaker
3 parts where they're like, all 3 of them are laid out, but it gives the time to hear the crowd react, and, you know, for them to catch a breather. But like, it's because they're going boom, 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 you know, just like nonstop. I love it. Great,
definitely,
great match,
definitely, man. I see big things with Bianca Belair, man. Bianca Belair is going to be, man, she's going to be so great, man. I feel like she gets better and better every you know what I mean, every week. Bianca gets better, man.
Yeah,
I love watching her.
Yeah, exactly. She is holding down that title strong, and like you said, every week, every match, she just looks better and better and stronger as a champion.
And Dre, you know what? I just learned about this about Bianca, that she was talking how she has imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? And it's basically she has imposter syndrome, and she said that is what people with imposter syndrome, it makes them push themselves because they feel like they're someone else. They don't. It doesn't feel real to them, and that she said that's what drives her to be better and better, because she doesn't feel like she's better. You know what I mean? Like we all see her, you know. Right. So, you know, I mean, it's like a gift and a curse. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a gift and a curse for her, but it was great to learn that about her just recently. I read about it. You know, she talked about it, I think, on Corey Graves' show. I think they said, but I read about it. I didn't watch the episode, but I think I'm gonna go back and watch that episode with her on Corey Graves.
Yeah, I have to check that out. That's pretty damn incredible.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Nice. Well, unfortunately, I'm like, well, maybe starting off this pay-per-view strong. Can we keep it going? Well, after that, we get another video package of Bobby Lashley, and we get, the feud for Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Omos, but we get a MVP and Omos rap. I am going to put it in the podcast, probably at the end of the podcast, but I was like, is it? I don't know if this is supposed to be good or bad. I was like, I kind of like it, but I think it's because I was laughing at some of the parts because he made fun of him being bald. And he goes through talking about how, like, he was an ECW champion and it was a crap title. Basically, like, I don't know, his title run was crap. Like, I don't know, just like the disses that he was making. But I was kind of laughing. And then, you had Omos at the end. I forget what the hell Omos said. Oh, it's time for you to go. Or something like that. But yeah, with that rap though, and then we see Cedric Alexander roll up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's been trying to get the Hurt Business back together for quite some time. Like, he wants it. My guess is him and Shelton have all these Hurt Business shirts they got to sell and get rid of. So,
poor. Oh man,
and Shelton's out with an injury, so it's like, what do you do with him? What do you do with Cedric? You know, so like now it's like he's trying to get on MVP side and they're on Omos, and like it seems like MVP, you know, is just like, you know, get out of here. Like, I don't want you here. Like, pushing him away. So now we're gonna see possibly a turn, I guess. You know, you had your chance to have the great Cedric Alexander on your team. Now you're gonna lose him. Now you're gonna lose the opportunity to have him. So that's what Omos says. It's time for you to go.
Feel bad for Cedric, man. Feel bad for Cedric.
Yeah.
Man, such wasted talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Actually, after this pay-per-view, we might get a direction with him because it seems like his character's taking a turn again. But yeah, I only gave this one like a 2-star. Like, it's a handicap match. Like, I'm tired of seeing this feud. We talked about this. This feud should be done and over with. But now we're seeing it in a handicap form. It went down exactly the way I thought it was going to go. You know, MVP was going to protect Omos and take the tap out, I guess, or the pin, and he ended up, you know, tapping out in a submission. So, you know, a nice little win and some retribution for Bobby Lashley. We did see Cedric Alexander try to interfere in the match, and I think almost took him out, I believe. But
yeah, he ran up and got taken out quickly by Omos, which allowed Lashley to hit the spear on Omos, taking him out, and then put MVP in the hurt lock for the tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bro, I did not. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I barely even watched that match, bro. I went and made me a sandwich.
Right. I mean,
so I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah. So Lashley gets the win over MVP, really, and Omos still gets protected. So now let's separate these guys. Let's separate these guys, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
that appears to be what they're doing. And like I said, I couldn't give this match more than maybe 2 stars either. It was boring. There really wasn't much different from what they did before. Omos is the monster. Lashley is the guy trying to figure out how to power him. He gets taken down. The MVP uses those opportunities to get his licks in. As soon as Bobby Lashley starts to fight back, oh shit, I'm out. Omos, go back in there. And then it's over with. I'm just glad that this feud is over with. And now they can go in their separate directions because this thing dragged on way longer than it needed to. Well, based upon what happened on Raw Monday, which I guess we'll talk about later on, but it seems like they're finally sending them off in their separate directions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm glad for.
I hope so too.
This feud needed to be over with. Honestly, I don't think anybody benefited from it. Like, Bobby Lashley doesn't look any stronger coming out of it.
Nope.
Omos doesn't look any stronger coming out of it.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
tried
we
to
said
give him
in
this
the
big
like
face win at the end, you know, with him grabbing like some fans' WWE title. It's like, dude, put the title down. Like, we already had you against Roman Reigns, and you got beat. Like, just worry about other things. I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Lashley right now because you got Roman Reigns needs somebody else. He needs somebody else to build up and we'll get to that later too. It's like a good surprise.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I have thoughts about that, but we'll save that for later.
8 minutes, 25 seconds of a match, and I'm glad it's over. I'm gonna.
I mean, like we were saying last time, bro. It was like we were saying in the last podcast. It was we all felt that they should have did something different with all of them. Like with some good factions coming up right now in the WWE, like they could have been a great faction together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lashley, almost all of them being led by MVP. You know what I mean? You could even do you could even do Alex back in there with them. You know what I mean? So it's just
Dude,
You know what I
that
mean?
would be
You could have
awesome.
threw Cedric Alexander back in there too.
Well, you know what?
But it would have been great. They would have had a great.
That's like definitely a stable I would make in my 2K game for damn sure.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Like it's not a lot of people that's going to beat Bobby Lashley and Almost as a tag team. You know what I mean? They could have did something together like that. You know what I mean? And had a great name together. You know what I mean? So.
And speaking
of
great stables, we'll talk about another great stable later and how that gets fucked up as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man, talk about throwing a fucking fork in a toaster.
Yeah.
So
and how me and Wayne need to do some business later. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that too. So all right. So the next match we get is
ultimately
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say ultimately the best thing about this match is that it's over.
Yeah.
That's literally the best thing about
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Oh man.
On your mark, get set, terrible.
I was saving that just for that. On your mark, get set, terrible. So,
man.
okay. So after that, we do get Kevin Owens against Ezekiel for 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, this feud has been pretty entertaining, at least. Kevin Owens, definitely the guy keeping it entertaining. I was kind of surprised that they let Kevin Owens go over on this. I mean, I guess he needed the win, but are we still going to be doing this whole shtick? Or is Kevin Owens going to move on to something bigger? Maybe. That'd be nice.
Does not appear to be the case.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't appear to be. It doesn't. But I don't know the direction they got Ezekiel going into right now. I mean, although he is getting over with the crowd.
Yeah, he is.
The crowd's loving Ezekiel right now. Don't get me wrong. So even though he lost, the crowd's still loving him right now, and I think that's all because of Kevin Owens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's because of Kevin Owens doing big things. You know what I mean?
They have a good chemistry together.
Damn sure can't be anything that Ezekiel's doing. Because he ain't doing shit. This match was okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't really anything. Again, another match that just wasn't really anything special about it. I was glad that Kevin Owens did win. Yeah, I feel like he deserved to win more than Ezekiel did. And yeah, I mean, Ezekiel winning this match doesn't really help him any, and burying Kevin Owens further down doesn't help him at all. So yeah, Kevin Owens winning.
3 stars.
I was glad to see that.
One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 stars.
I thought that would have been the end of the feud finally, but we're all set otherwise.
Oh yeah. If I just feel like if Vince is back there saying it's good shit, they're gonna keep doing it.
Oh, that's just good shit. I like it.
I just feel like they're gonna keep doing it. I mean, it has been entertaining. It has been entertaining, but hopefully it's done by Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we get and we get Kevin Owens. We get the Kevin Owens we need to go into Money in the Bank and help make that awesome. You know what I mean? Win or lose, just help make make it awesome.
Right.
Dre, how many stars do you give this one?
I was gonna say the biggest problem with this is that you have 2 good workers just in a very dumb feud. Yeah, like Kevin Owens. Everybody knows Kevin Owens' work ethic speaks for itself. He's phenomenal in the ring, and Ezekiel's not a bad worker in the ring either.
No.
He's just caught up in this very dumb gimmick of being I'm Elias's younger brother or whatever, and it's just a dumb gimmick and this dumb feud with Kevin Owens, and it's like kind of a waste of both these guys' talent.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think as long as what's saving them right now is the crowd being into it. You know what I mean? I think that's really mostly what they care about. If the crowd's cheering on Ezekiel and you know what I mean, laughing at Kevin Owens, I I think they're doing their job. You know what I
Talk about
mean?
how
So,
Kevin Owens does a moonsault like so well for his size.
mhm.
Like,
oh yeah,
he does
yeah.
like such a clean moonsault. I find
He
it
does,
funny.
man. He's so good at it.
There was just
Yep. Mhm.
also this one spot where he like takes Ezekiel on the outside of the ropes and he puts both his fucking hands in Ezekiel's mouth, you know. And we just been through a pandemic too, by the way. And then just like
Yeah, yeah.
sticks his hands in his mouth and just stretches his cheeks out. I was like, "What the fuck, Owens?" I'm like, "Come on, dude." And then Ezekiel Irish whips him, Kevin Owens into the corner, and the way Owens just sells it. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers who sold getting thrown in the corner. Shawn Michaels is another one I think of. Getting thrown into the corner, and Kevin Owens does it really well. He takes that turnbuckle very well, and like
That
flops all
turnbuckle
over.
flip, yeah.
Yeah, he does it so well. Because every time Shawn Michaels would do it, I was like, dude, come on, you're overselling
Yeah.
it. Just a little bit, Michaels. You're like, no, he flips over like that every time. Come on, dude.
I bet you.
oversold
I
it.
bet you Kevin Owens has them cracking up in the back too.
Oh,
I bet
dude,
you he's
yeah.
that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet you he's the funny guy back there
But Kevin Owens
who has
is such
everybody
a good
cracking
wrestler
up.
for his size too. Like you look at Kevin Owens, you'd be like, this guy is not built to be a good wrestler. But
Yeah,
watch him.
that's what Vince always thought.
Yeah, he's a good fucking wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then you get one of those unique talents who comes along who's like who doesn't have the look, but they can absolutely go in the
Exactly.
ring. He's like a modern
Exactly.
He's like a modern Bam Bam Bigelow.
Exactly. Yep. You
Bray
hit it.
Wyatt
Hit the
was
nail on the
another
coat
guy
right there,
I
yep.
thought that was like that. That can move very well for his size.
Remember, he didn't want AJ Styles for the longest time because he was a small guy. But
He's like one of the best wrestlers in the company right now.
What happened?
He's one of the best damn wrestlers in the company right now.
I know. And you know the thing about AJ, man, he's small, and him and Finn, but they fight the big guys like they're big guys.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like AJ, when he throws those punches and elbows, everything he does look like it hurts, bro. Like even when he fights the big guys, like he took him, and I feel like him and Finn Balor took Brock Lesnar to the limit when they fought him. You know what I mean? Even Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe's a big guy. We all know he's a beast. You know what I mean? But I feel like those guys, like, you know, they put their all into the ring when they're in there, and they're such like generals in the ring, man. Like, oh man, it's crazy. It's just crazy, and that's why I feel like AJ Styles is like, you know, he could be the best on any night.
Let's get back to this match real quick. Jerry, how many stars did you give this match?
This one,
The Kevin Owens Ezekiel match.
I'll give it 2.5 stars. I'll put an extra half star on it because Kevin Owens won. But like I said, overall, it's just wasn't nothing special about it. It was two good workers in the ring having a good match. If you just judge the match on its own outside of the gimmick itself, it's a good match, but it's just dragged down by a very, in my opinion, goofy ass storyline. But like I said, I was glad to see that Kevin Owens won.
Yeah, we saw he tried to get the stunner on him, and it was reversed, but he did get the pop-up powerbomb, which he doesn't use very often. He started using again, and I love the pop-up powerbomb. It's funny.
Yes, sir.
I use it as a signature move in my Create a Wrestler in 2K22. I like having the pop-up powerbomb. I think that's an awesome move, especially when he throws them against the rope and they come off. He just throws them up there, especially a lot smaller guys. But I also heard a rumor of them maybe trying to bring Damian Sandow back because he looks very similar to Ezekiel / Elias, but I think that's going too far with this storyline here.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of hilarious, but you know,
they're probably waiting for him to grow his beard out some more.
Yeah. So, Dave, how many stars did you give this match?
I mean, I'm going to give it a 3, just for the entertainment factor.
The entertainment.
You know what I mean?
That's why I give it a 3 as well.
Just for the entertainment. Yeah, just for the entertainment factor. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I always love when Kevin Owens is in the ring. And, you know, Ezekiel is growing on me. You know, I'm not going to lie, he's growing on me. But, you know, just for the entertainment factor, I'm going to just give this match a 3. A 3.
I like
That's
how
it.
Owens, when he's done to me, looks at the camera and he says, "Hi, Elias." Oh,
Yeah.
man. Owens.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I always feel like you just got to give Owens something just for his effort and everything, you know? Because he always puts his guts out there.
Yeah. So, let's move on here to Judgment Day. The Judgment Day. Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. The club.
Mm-hmm.
And a 6-person mixed tag team match that went on for 16 minutes and 3 seconds. You know, that is another match that I gave it only like a 3.5 stars, and only because it was kind of predictable. Like, we knew the heels were going to go over, but I think what happens tomorrow or on Raw the next night is something I didn't really see coming. I was more confused, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But I don't know. I mean, this match, we had all the faces. You know, they all get in the ring at the same time, and we have all the faces start off the match before the bell goes off. This is the first match we see AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm on Edge. A lot of them, though, had a lot of good chemistry. I didn't see any botches at all. I mean, I didn't see any.
Yeah.
But I think
this was a really clean match.
Yeah, really clean. A lot of these
guys
have really good chemistry. I mean, these are all seasoned wrestlers. I mean, you have a lot of good talent in that ring. So everybody looked good. You know, the right team did go over, you know, the heels, and, you know, you got Rhea over and Damian over with Edge. So that was really good for them. And I saw Styles got busted open towards the end of the match. I don't know where or when that happened at all. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I didn't see the exact thing, but it had to have happened towards the end when they all did their out of the ring spots where the Judgment Day was outside the ring and Finn Balor and AJ Styles both dove over the top rope outside the ring on them at the same time. And then shortly after, Liv Morgan dove out the ring on Rhea Ripley. Somewhere around there is when it had to have happened, because the next time you saw AJ Styles he was back in the ring and he was bleeding.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that spot is where he busted himself open.
Exactly, yeah.
I really don't like Edge with his short hair. He just he should wet it at least. You know, some wrestlers come out with their hair wet, and there's a reason why, because his hair is frizzy as shit. Like, he needs to take like a lint roll over it or something, because like he like had this like Super Saiyan look, and like I was like, oh my god, he's going Super Saiyan. His hair was all like fluffy. I was laughing a little. But yeah, we saw Finn Balor take the spear and the pin at the end. Finn, you know, the smaller guy in this match, took the spear pretty well from Edge. Edge being a big guy. But yeah, like, I mean, you know, 3.5, you know, is not too bad. But I don't know. I'm a little confused where this stable is going and this storyline. And if I thought I was confused then, I was very confused the next night. But Dre, what'd you think of this, man?
I give this match a 3 out of 5. Like I said, it was a good, clean match. Mm-hmm. You saw good teamwork on both ends, which worked surprisingly well for AJ, Liv, and Finn Balor, having, you know, not been together more than maybe 3 weeks at this point, maybe. And yet they still had some good teamwork spots that they managed to put together. So I thought that worked very well in the match. The finish was kind of weak, in my opinion, in terms of, you know, Finn Balor being on the top, getting ready to go for the finish, but he stops because Rhea Ripley gets in the way. Like that
shit pisses me off.
That was a little too weak. I'm like, Like, bro, she ain't too good for a drop kick. You could have. If she want to get in the way, she can catch one too. Like
we saw
that
Nia
shit,
Jax taking RKO
to me, that
not
shouldn't
too
have
long
stopped
ago.
him.
We saw
if-
Baron Corbin
unless you just
attack
want to go
Becky
the
Lynch
whole,
not too long ago. You know what
I mean, I don't know if you just want. They're trying to go with the baby face, right? You know, big baby face. He doesn't hit women. I'm like, man, what the hell ever. This day and age, and that's not saying that go around here whipping up on women or nothing like that. But in this day and age with these competitors, we've seen plenty of women wrestlers take spots from men. So,
to me,
there's no reason why he couldn't have just caught her with a good, clean drop kick and then got right back on the rope and then finished off Edge. But it was what it was. He stopped, and Judgment Day got the very obvious win because obviously they had to win because they're the up-and-coming faction that needs the momentum.
I definitely think
doesn't serve them to lose
Rhea
this
could take
match.
Finn for sure.
We all knew
take
that
him
was going to happen.
Right, he could have went for a crossbody and she probably could have caught his ass.
Yeah,
That would have been cool.
I think she could. I think she's strong, man. I think she could have caught Finn. Yeah, definitely. That would have been nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, outside of
it would have helped her too. It would have helped her too.
Right.
Making her look strong.
Yeah. I would have given it a 3.5, but yeah, the finish was kind of weak, so I'll take a half point off for the weak finish. But 3 out of 5, it was a good match overall.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys notice this is the first time in a long, well, I don't know if I've ever seen Rhea wrestle in shorts.
Apparently there was a reason for that.
Yeah, she lost her gear, wasn't ready in time.
Yeah, her gear wasn't ready in time.
All I can say is
she had to improvise, which I mean, I wasn't mad at.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad because she looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know Rhea Ripley was packing all that back there.
Tell me about it. I didn't know she had nice legs like that, man, with all the tats and stuff. Like, wow.
I think he was referring to the junk in the trunk, sir.
Of course, man. You think I missed that? Shoot. I thought hey, man, I knew she had that before. I knew she had that before the shorts, bro. Come on. You seen that thing. That thing is thanging.
Yeah, I mean, I did not know. I was asleep. I was like, hold up.
Yeah, I know, right?
I did not know. They go find your IG right quick.
That is great. That is great. Oh, man.
I was going to leave some awkward silence because I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Dave, you haven't given your score yet, David, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm. You know what? I'm going to give it a 3-2. I'm going to give it a 3 because I was hoping for more out of this match, and I was hoping for the turn on this match. I always knew Finn was going to turn. I felt it in my heart. Finn was going to be the man.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Dude,
I felt that big time.
Would you want it at Hell in a Cell?
Huh?
Would you have wanted it at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of feel like I kind of feel like that when AJ got hurt, I feel like that spot was supposed to happen last night. I kind of feel that. I kind of feel that things changed when AJ got hurt because I feel like how can y'all do this and not have Finn turn on AJ? You know what I mean? That's what I felt like the build-up was for Finn to turn on AJ because that would have hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
The 2 Bullet Club members, and he just turns on them. You know what I mean? Joins the Judgment Day. You know, so I was looking for more storyline in the match. Put it that way. The wrestling, of course, we know what to expect with all these guys. You know, and girls. You know, which you know the wink leak in this is kind of Liv Morgan. You know what I mean? I think I love Liv Morgan, but I'm not a huge fan of her wrestling. You know, it is not. I think it could be sharper. Don't get me wrong. I think it could be sharper, but yeah, man. I was just hoping for more of a storyline in that match. You know, I just wanted more out of it. You know, I wanted to be more invested in it. And I
This is
wasn't.
a
I
neutral-
I
a
enjoyed
neutral
the
breakup,
wrestling.
I guess. So they didn't have to hurt the relationship between AJ and Finn, which I respect. But
Yeah. I enjoyed the wrestling. I enjoyed the wrestling very much. But it's just the storyline, the story they've been having, and just to have Hell in a Cell just in like that, I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more.
Yeah.
Right.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not entirely mad that they didn't do it last night.
Yeah, I'm not mad, but
yeah, because honestly, it wasn't on my mind at all about a swerve or a turn or anything during the match. I just knew that the Judgment Day was going to win, and I kind of feel like if they had one on a swerve or on a turn like that with Balor turning on AJ, I feel like it might have maybe weakened the faction a little bit by given that they had to take something like that for them to win. I think them winning just the match on their own, just those three, helps strengthen the faction as it stands. And right. And then obviously, ain't no point of beating around the bush about it since we done brought it up. The following, last night on Raw,
bring it up.
The three, with them introducing Finn Balor as the newest member. Okay, cool. Most people, probably saw that coming, so that wasn't a big deal. But then the swerve, the huge swerve of them turning on Edge and giving him the beat down. I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah. I thought it was.
I loved it. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I thought that was genius, bro. I thought it was genius
because that's not something that you see often. Yes, something you rarely ever see is a faction happen and they kick the leader out of the faction.
I know, but how crazy have we ever had? Have we ever had a double turn? You know what I mean? Like they turned. You know what I mean? Like if they would have turned on AJ last night and then turned on Edge the next night, I mean that would have been crazy too. You know what I mean? Like, because you would have never saw the Edge thing coming, period. I mean, we didn't, but it just would have escalated even more for me. You know what I mean? But I thought that was genius, what they did with Edge, man. Like, and I kind of feel like that was something that came from Edge's head.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I can see Edge doing that. You know what I mean? He's a genius.
I think it could have been. I think either Vince was still undecided on which direction to go, which is why he didn't do it, or they might not have wanted to have a repeat, somewhat of a repeat of what they did with Backlash with, the AJ Styles and Edge match ending with Rhea Ripley showing up as to interfere in that match.
Okay.
So they might not have wanted to go with a whole nother, swerve of sorts to conclude another match between them. They may have just wanted to allow this one to just end clean and then save the swerve for Monday night.
So true. Because they did. Because I think you're right. Because they probably did know. They knew that most likely everybody knew Finn was going to be the man to join them. So they probably thought, hey, okay, everybody already knows Finn is going to be here. What can we do to top that? And they did something to top that by turning on Edge, and it was freaking genius. Yeah.
All right, guys. That match had a lot going on during that match. So
definitely can't wait to see who joins next. Honestly,
exactly. Yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes from here. All right. So after this, our fifth match for the night, we get Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin in a no-holds-barred match that went on for too long. 12 minutes and 5 seconds. I give this one a 3-star, but only because there was some goofy spots. But I did think it went on way too long. There was a spot where Moss went over, or Madcap, went over the table. The way he flipped over that table, I just laughed out loud because it just seemed like he just launched his entire body just over that table with such aggression. And then I think that's when I realized what Corey Graves was wearing, because that's when I saw a full shot of Corey Graves. And I was just like, what the hell? What? I was like, what the hell are you wearing? Yeah, and they did a lot of steel step spots with Baron Corbin. The Madcap got to take a chair and put it on the neck of Corbin and get a little sweet revenge and put him through the table. And then, Madcap got the win. I did think it was kind of funny how Corbin was taken out on a stretcher because of later in the evening of who else we get, that doesn't get taken out of in a stretcher. You know what I mean? So, so I just thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, just 3 stars. I mean, now that these two guys, this feud should also be another one that should be over. I mean, this thing has been going since WrestleMania. Madcap is over. Like, a lot of fans like this guy. So, let's keep his momentum going, and let's move him on from Baron Corbin. I want to see Baron Corbin possibly in, the Money in the Bank match, and maybe we'll see Madcap as well. But one of these guys has to be in the Money in the Bank match. But either way, let's move on from this feud. Like I said, it went on for 12 minutes, 5 seconds, a little bit too long. Could have been a little bit shorter for me. Dre, what do you got?
I'll give this one a 2 3/4 out of 5. It was a decent match. I can't quite give it 2.5. I feel like 2.5 would be kind of insulting to it. It wasn't quite good enough to me for a 3. It was hard hitting, which you would expect from a no holds barred match, but also kind of bland. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna throw you into this, and I'm gonna throw you into that, and I'm gonna throw you into this. I mean, I did laugh at one spot, at one part that was funny when both of them were on the outside, and Madcap just literally picked up one of the announcer chairs and just threw it at fucking.
That was great.
I remember. Yeah, the chair just came out of frame, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and just out of frame, and just bust him dead in his face. I laughed my ass off.
And I was like, what's funny is I'm sitting on the same exact chair, and I quickly got up and I lifted this chair. I'm like, damn, I can throw this
those
chair,
chairs aren't light.
Those
chairs got some weight to them.
To throw it at the force that he threw it, damn, that was aggressive as fuck.
He yeeted the shit out that chair in his ass.
Yeah, I'd be kind of pissed.
I did love the spot where where they had the steel, where Madcap had the steel steps propped up in the corner, and then fucking hit freaking Corbin with the reverse, the fall away slam into it.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was a dope spot. Yeah. The finish with the chair thing. That chair thing is starting to become a trope to me now.
Right?
Where they wrap their head into the chair and then slam them into it. It's like, the chair isn't. They do it too much. Yeah, it's become a trope now. It's like, we know the chair isn't actually buckling on their neck. Stop trying to sell us on this thing. We know it's not real.
There's so many other things they could do.
Yeah, there's so many other creative ways you can find to take somebody out rather than this ridiculous looking chair spot that nobody is buying anymore. I'd rather you just clock. Yeah, I'd rather y'all just clock the fuck out of somebody with a chair and just say they're out with a concussion again. Everybody, since we all know about concussions, we all know about that, and chair spots to the head are basically written out of wrestling now because of concussions. I'd rather you see somebody actually break that rule and do it once. To me, that would be more plausible if you said holy shit, he actually hit him in the head. Okay, that guy's out for a few weeks with a concussion. I would buy that more than this ridiculous folding chair on the neck trope that they keep running with. And Madcap, he works and looks good in the ring. I just hope he does not stick with the whole all black thing.
Yeah,
that's
go back to the
what's up with the Goldberg or the Steve Austin attire, bro?
Right, but don't become generic wrestler in all black again. Why, I don't know why he chose to get rid of the shorts and suspenders. I thought that worked for him. At least made him look unique. I don't know if they wanted to put the all black thing to try to coincide with him being more aggressive with his anger at Baron Corbin or what? But
If you squint while you're watching him wrestle, he looks like a young Drew McIntyre.
right,
Right? Because it's
another
he's just,
guy in all black.
and just long hair, clean shave,
Yeah.
almost, nice tight beard. But the suspenders definitely worked. The suspenders and like the goofy hat,
Right, it worked for him. At least it separated him from everybody else.
It did.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have it. Now he's generic wrestler 4.
Right,
Love it.
wrestler in all black, number 12.
Yeah. So
Like, no, go back. Now, if you had to do it just because you were really pissed off, and you wanted to show off your aggression, fine.
Mhm.
But damn it, this Friday, bring back the chinos and suspenders.
Yes, sir.
Especially
What you on that?
this summer. Ain't hoochie shorts supposed to be in for the men this summer? Ain't that supposed
I
to be the
guess.
move? Yeah, that's the move. That's what I'm hearing on social media, man. He the perfect candidate. Hoochie shorts and suspenders, man. That need to be the move for him this summer.
Yeah, they're calling them hoochie daddy shorts.
Yeah, hoochie daddy shorts.
Oh man.
That man got all the thigh meat in the world to make that happen for him.
true. And we know he's got a thick ass neck.
Oh, yeah, he definitely
Right.
does.
He got a lot of muscle. That's why he
They
can
picked
get
the-
hit with steel
Right,
chairs.
they
and
picked the
shit.
worst time to take the shorts off of him.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man.
Just as they came in style, they want to switch it up. Somebody in WWE fashion department need to send out an email.
Yep.
Oh man.
Boom.
Yeah.
Roasted.
But I'm gonna give this match. I'm just gonna give it a 2.5 effort. You know what I mean?
I'm being generous.
Oh man, because
No, that's cool.
it goes back to storyline for me again.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these guys are not putting the storyline in their matches. You know what I mean? They're not putting that storyline effort into their matches. They're not connecting with each other. You know what I mean? And the thing about that is Baron Corbin's so good at that stuff. So to not see him, interact with the storyline in his match as much as I wanted him to, and make it out to be, because Baron Corbin's like one of the best heels in the game right now, and I don't know. It's just like the match was okay, but I wanted more story. That's another thing I missed in this match. Is we building it up, and the story just doesn't end right. For me, that is. So, that's why I'm gonna give it a 2.5, because I do love both of the guys wrestling. They both give they all into the wrestling ring, and honestly, I'm hoping with Baron, with them hurting Baron like they did, I'm hoping that better Baron comes back, because me myself, I'm a big Baron Corbin fan. When it comes to being a heel, I feel like he should be so much more right now, and I feel like he can be so much more. And I don't know what holds Baron back, because he has everything. He has everything. So I'm just hoping this match ends with them, and they both go their separate ways, and we see good things out of both of them guys. Because I feel like they're both. Madcap is going to be a good future opponent in the ring for someone, and Baron's just always going to be great when it comes to being a heel, and I just hope he comes back better. I don't know what that means right now, but I want Baron Corbin to go back to being ruthless.
Right.
Yeah, I miss that Baron Corbin.
Oh man, the lone wolf.
Oh man,
Big,
I know.
bold wolf.
Yeah.
Right? That's his new thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, and he's come a long way from that.
Yeah.
Too,
Oh yeah.
because I don't feel like he was great on the mic in Like, I don't feel he was as confident as he is now.
Yeah.
So I say, bring back the Lone Wolf. Let him still, and let it intertwine with what he's learned so far since he's been here, and let it rip, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Create that next crazy hill, because the things we hearing about Randy. I mean, we need to build some more good hills, man, to make these good guys look good.
Well, here talking about a heel that you were talking about last episode, we have United States champion Theory versus Mustafa Ali, the Chicago, Illinois homeboy.
Mustafa.
Yes. Mustafa Ali, definitely not who I thought was the Chicago native. When we say Chicago, we think of CM Punk, of course. So
yeah,
I gave this match a 2.5. This one was a bathroom break for me. I kind of knew that we know that as much as it'd be nice to see the hometown hero win a title in his hometown. Like, how cool would that be? Like, I think everybody dreams of that. Everybody who dreams about being a wrestler, like, yeah, man, I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrestle in my own town. I'm going to win the title in my own town. Everybody's going to see it. No. You're going to lose, dude. You're going to lose. Guarantee you're going to fucking lose. So, unfortunately, yeah, he lost. But I want to say, like, Theory has come a long way thus far.
Oh yeah.
They're not. I feel like, yeah, we talked about this before. How this match, they're not really doing anything with him. I don't know. So we need a bigger feud, and after this, yeah, hopefully. But I do like, now you can definitely see how much he's been getting around on TV, because when you watch his entrance in the opening, you see the Titantron. He puts up all these pictures of all the selfies of people he's wrestled with, everybody he's interacted with, and it's funny. And you think about it, you're like, oh damn, like I've seen all these taken. Like, I remember this one with Brock Lesnar. I remember this one with Vince McMahon. I remember this one with Seth Rollins. This one at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? So it's like Austin Theory has been around, the past couple months, as much as you like it or not. I did like his outfit. It kind of resembled a little bit of like Captain America, I think. A little. That's the kind of vibes I was getting with the United States title, which I always think it's cool when a wrestler makes their gear look similar to the color scheme of the title, whether it's the United States or the Universal title or whatever, or the women's title. But yeah, this match didn't go on. It went on 10 minutes 25 seconds. Ah, crap. But it was a nice reason for everybody to go to the bathroom. I'm sure tons of people there at the stadium had to go to the bathroom, go get more food, maybe, because you did not want to miss the next match. So 2.5 stars for me. Dre, what do you got?
Yeah, this match was every bit of the nothing burger that I knew it was going to be. I give it 2 stars. Just for the simple fact that the two guys in the ring are good workers. But outside of that, this match had no business being as late on the card as it was. This had no business being the penultimate match on the card.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, this, if anything, this should have been the match to start the damn pay-per-view off. Maybe. You might have had more interest from the crowd had it started off. I mean, pay-per-view. One, you bring out the Chi-Town guy, start off the pay-per-view with that. You know he's going to lose, but at least you get this, meaningless match out of the way. You're going to get, like I say, you can take advantage of the energy of the Chi-Town crowd, let them start off, let them do their thing, and then you can move into the stuff. Like, this should have been the first match, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
For the match itself, it was two good workers having a meaningless match that we all knew the outcome of beforehand.
Exactly.
And it didn't do anything for either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right. But United States title got to be on pay-per-view, and Intercontinental title didn't.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true.
yeah.
That's true.
And we did talk about how for quite some time they're always not putting the secondary title on any of these pay-per-views, but it's just so
Right. And again, I'm not arguing that it shouldn't have been on the pay-per-view. I'm just saying it should not have been this late on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It should have been the
Number one.
start. This should have been match number 1 on the card.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, placement means everything.
you know.
I mean, this would have been a nice opening match. I mean, yeah, granted, the opening match that we got was amazing, but still, this would have gave people who are coming in late maybe to roll in. You know, me and Dave have been there. Me and Dave are already late. We can hear the first match going off, and we're still in line for food anyway. You know, that's happened before with us. And it's always like, oh, well, don't worry. It's like a nice buffer warm up match. We're good. But like, if I knew I was missing that, I would have been like, Dave, fuck your popcorn. Let's go. We gotta go see that match. You know, like, you know what I mean? So
You're right.
Placement
Yep.
would have made so much of a difference. But
of course,
Exactly.
Yep.
I feel like I said, and I feel like this match would have probably gone off a lot better had it started off the pay-per-view. 'Cause like I said, Mustafa Ali being this Chi-Town guy, if he cut off the pay-per-view and you bring out the hometown homie, that's going to be instant pop from the audience. And then they're ready to go.
You're so right.
And then you put like the women's and you put the Raw Women's title match, and you could have put that somewhere in the middle. It could have helped, like, you know, help keep some of the momentum throughout the show. Because as it was booked last night, the match was you could basically draw out that pay-per-view was basically a U. Started off high, dropped down, ended back high.
Yeah.
That's basically how last night's pay-per-view went. But if you would have rearranged some of these matches, you could have carried the momentum through the pay-per-view a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit better than how it went down.
That's true. Well, I'm definitely giving this match a 2. And because of course, like you said, we all knew the outcome. You know, it was just honestly a filler match for me. So it's like and come on, guys, we know what's going on with Ali right now. We know look what's Ali been through with the company right now, bro. You know, we can't expect him to come in being, Vince McMahon's protege, especially since he's been trying to leave the company. You know what I mean? And everybody's been through it. Even Triple H himself has been punished and when he was starting his career. You know what I mean? Vince put him on the sideline. He had to suffer, and I think that's what Mustafa's doing right now. Vince make him suffer. Hey man, you want to stay here? You got to lose. You just gotta be somebody we put out there. We know you're a good wrestler. We know you can go out there and turn it out, but just going to use him right now.
There could be a payoff later.
Still asking to leave, or or if he still wants to leave, which I don't know how that changed, but Vince is not letting him go. Vince wants to use him, so every time we see Mustafa on the screen, I'm just thinking right now he's being punished, and that's all we're gonna see from him right now until Vince feels otherwise.
We've seen that with Selena Vega. She was punished for a while when Aleister Black left. She was punished she was losing for a long time when she came back. And then the only push that she got was she got the Queen of the Ring, and then she got to win the tag team titles with Carmella. And then after that, what has she done since? Tell me.
Yeah. And the funny thing is about it is I was surprised that Vince is letting Mustafa get still get as far in the match as he has, because when Vince really doesn't like you or he's really trying to make you suffer, he squashed the hell out of you.
Right. That's
what I mean. If he really
say, like, he's
being
they got him on a losing streak right now, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's being punished the same way Triple H was.
Oh
when
yeah,
Triple,
no.
When Triple H got punished after the curtain call, they had him taking terrible losses.
Oh yeah, like, I remember that, bro.
Yeah, he was going through some downright embarrassing shit at that time.
Damn sure was. That's why I feel like he's still like, I'm guessing Mustafa, maybe they have a agreement now. Maybe Mustafa feels better. Maybe he made a deal with him, but he just told Mustafa, you're going to have to take some losses, bro. Yeah, I'm not going to bury you. I'm not going to make you look like, you can't do what you do.
But you ain't winning shit.
Exactly. But you ain't getting shit around here right now, bro.
Right.
You're going to have to take it on the head.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I feel like that's where they're at. They're like, okay, you want to be used? Fine. We'll bring you in. We'll put you on TV, but you ain't winning shit. You ain't getting no titles. You ain't winning shit.
And you know what, Dre?
If you wrestling, you losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? It might be for Mustafa. Because he's still a young guy, right? Mustafa's still a young guy, right?
Yeah,
he's still got plenty of career ahead of him.
He might still. The thing about it, they making it look, since they're not burying him, he's doing all this losing. They might have big plans for him soon in the future.
Oh, he's 36.
He's doing all this losing right now, but when he gets to the promised land, look remember what Daniel went through. When he gets to the promised land, being that little guy and, constantly getting beat, maybe they're trying to build him that way too, because, people do get built that way from losing. I know a lot of people get mad when people lose constantly and stuff like that, but there's been a lot of people who gain momentum from losing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a big chess game, man. Like
Heath Slater when he had the losing streak.
I was a young kid, and I'm like, you just learn all those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's all contingent.
Winning.
That's all. Yeah, I agree. That's all contingent on him staying with the company. Though.
Exactly.
Now, if he agrees to stay with the company, then sure, there could be a payoff for him somewhere down the line after he eats shit for maybe a year or so. But if he's just basically like riding out his contract and then he's gone afterwards, then it could be the same agreement. Like, fine, we'll put you on TV for the remainder of your contract, but you ain't winning shit. And that could still end up working out for him where he loses out the rest of his contract, or he just basically takes L's for the rest of his contract. And then after that, he leaves, goes on to maybe AEW or something like that, and then he can rip on freaking WWE on the mic and go off on him about how terrible he was treated, and it can set him up for a second act with his character somewhere else. It could work out for him either way.
It definitely could. That's why I'm happy they're not like super burying him, like letting him lose in 30 seconds and crap like that. Because with Theory, they could have did that. You know what I mean? That's Vince's boy right now. He would have let him squash him. You know what I mean? So I'm happy
that is pretty decent on that card. That is one of the longer matches on the card.
Yeah. I would say that's the best thing working in Ali's favor right now is the fact that he's not being squashed.
Exactly.
He's losing, but he's not being squashed or buried.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
At least not yet.
Yep. Yeah, at least not yet. Yeah, there you go.
He wrestles Omos next Monday and gets stomped out in 15 seconds.
Oh, crap.
The in-ring work isn't that bad, for either of them. So,
nope, not at all. There was a dope spot in the middle of the match at one point where Ali hit like a tilt-a-whirl DDT on Theory through the ropes. That was that was a dope-ass spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's questioning the talent of these two. They can go.
Ali can work, bro. Ali can work. I was just not a big fan of Ali being the leader of
Retribution.
What was it? Retribution. I'm sorry, but I did not see Ali in that role. I'm sorry. He didn't make me believe he was vicious like that. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it was about him, but I'm more of a Ali being a hero than a villain. He didn't play the villain role well for me. And I think that's why Retribution didn't last, because you're only as good as your leader. You know what I mean? Like your leader holds the ball, and if you don't have that it factor with being a heel like that, that's the. I'm you know, I kind of knew it wasn't going to last. You know, I seen it.
Yep. Almost every clique is as strong as its leader. Exactly, man. And that's
right.
That stuck for Ali. That stuck for Ali because he had some major talent behind him. Those people behind him were talented. Don't get me wrong. Like Mia Yim, who's the boy, T-Bar, all like he, woo. Like T-Bar, I'm surprised they didn't like he wasn't a singles wrestler because that guy can go, man. The matches he had with Keith Lee, classic. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's one that they missed out on, and they still have him. Yeah,
unfortunately, he is awesome in the ring, man.
He's so buried right now. It's.
I know, and it sucks big time because I think I think he has what it takes. But hey, that's your writers. You know they can't find a place for you. I guess that's how it is. You know what I mean?
I will say though, this match before we move on is they did almost try and make it believable. They did get the crowd pretty excited towards the end, thinking that Ali was going to win this match, and he missed the top. He missed the top
went to the
rope
top
spot.
rope for the 450.
He missed. Yeah, and I was just like, okay. Austin got up. Theory got up, did his finisher. I was like, you're done. Get your picture taken. Add it to the collection. Add it to the entrance. You know what I mean? Like, man's got a collection. I like it. I like how he's doing it. It's the modern day, you know? Just... Yeah. Like NWO used to spray paint their victims. This guy takes your picture. Oh, man. Not the same, but whatever.
To be honest, bro, I think how you said it was the Intercontinental title wasn't on, which with Roman out and having both titles, like I don't understand why all other titles aren't on a pay-per-view.
Especially Ricochet.
When we don't even have a heavyweight title match, you know what I mean, on a pay-per-view. You should have every other title on that pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like exactly. I honestly think a match with Ali and Ricochet would have been awesome. You know what I mean? Like them two going at it. Like
except for the fact that one's on Raw and one's on SmackDown. But
but the brand doesn't matter anymore. We know that.
We know for all intents and purposes it's dead, but I still think I think there has to be a reason for somebody to jump to another brand, though, or to have a program on another brand other than what you natively see them on. So
that's what I'm saying. I think it would have been great. Usually when they do that, they start a storyline with them guys,
right? You know, so that's the big question. Like, what would be the reason for
exactly?
I think for Ali going over to SmackDown to try to challenge
Ricochet wants to come over to SmackDown.
That's true.
I love it. It's like, or he wants to come to Raw. Yeah. Oy, that match almost put me to sleep too. So I want to I want to move on to a more exciting match. For me, the most exciting match of the night. Now, I didn't know until maybe a little bit going into the pay-per-view, like about Cody's injury. Like, I don't know if it was online prior to the pay-per-view, but I was just like, kind of like
it was. There was a few outlets who started reporting it like that day, the Saturday of.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sunday of. I didn't hear anything about it the Saturday much. Well, I take it back. There may have been some. I found out about it Sunday. Literally, like right before the pay-per-view aired. Yeah, is when I found out about it. But I guess some outlets may have started reporting on it. I guess perhaps as early as maybe Saturday. I think the injury itself happened where he tore it off completely off the bone happened Friday. Because they said I think so. He suffered a partial tear in the Monday in the go home episode of Raw. When he suffered a partial tear during the little brawl that he had with Rollins on Raw Monday, and then working out Friday is when he apparently tore it completely off the bone.
Jesus Christ.
His pectoral muscle. Yeah. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, maybe it's a work. You know, I get it. Like, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Wrestlers come in, they're taped up, or,
Mhm.
you know, I get it. So I was like, okay, so now, and it's in Hell in a Cell, like, maybe they're doing it so they really put Seth over. And then I was like, the night was going through, I was like, oh shit, I don't think it's a work. I was like, he might actually be really hurt. I'm like, so wait a second, like, what if they can't have him? And I'm thinking, like, who would take his place? I think right away of the show must go on, so, like, either he does it or somebody takes his place. Because I was like, we're at a Hell in a Cell, and we haven't had Hell in a Cell, and it's hovering above us. Like, I don't give a shit if you have to have Curtis Axel, who's back there, and Jamie Noble, you know, get on some tights and go out there and work a match. But, like, I want a goddamn Hell in a Cell match. You know, this is what I want. This is what I demanded. But, you know,
Surprise, motherfucker.
yeah, so Cody Rhodes was actually able to make the match. I was very surprised when the match, when the entrances started. For the record, I hate this version of the Hell in the Cell. I don't like the red. This one is, I feel like it's also smaller than the older ones we used to see. I just don't like it being red. I feel like it's such a distraction for me. It's such a distraction. But anyway, I like what Seth Rollins was wearing. He came out with an all black, like, feathered outfit, it looked like a robe, and I was like, okay. He always wears, like, weird outfits. I'm like, what the hell? And he takes it off, and underneath he's wearing the all black and yellow polka dot, you know, dusty outfit. I love it because it was genius. Because we've seen this in the past.
Genius.
I love
Seth Rollins' outfits are
man.
always great. We've seen him wear Roman Reigns' Shield outfit when he faced Roman recently. We've seen him wear Rey Mysterio's outfit from one of his WCW Halloween Havoc matches. You know what I mean? Like, the list goes on. Like, Seth Rollins is very, very good at his cosplaying outfits. Like, if there's one thing I love about Seth Rollins is his presentation, and that's with his fucking gear. Like, either he's gonna come out with something goofy on Raw, like an outfit or a suit that it's like, dude, what Goodwill did you find that at? Or, like, where did you find that? Who made that? Like, and burn it when you're done. Like, but like, when it comes to the pay-per-views, he's always got it. And definitely, like, I would say for best dress for me, for if I was giving out awards for the night.
I'm just gonna go ahead and go on record right now. I'm calling this outfit of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, Dusty Rhodes polka dots. I don't see nobody topping this year, except for maybe Seth Rollins himself.
Yeah.
Outside that, this would be the outfit of the year.
Yeah,
and
this
how
was
cocky he is when he was going to that ring.
Genius.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And this is what separates Seth Rollins from everybody else. Because he understands all aspects of the game. It's not just about being able to work in the ring. It's not just about being able to be good on the mic. He understands every aspect of the presentation. Like 99% of other wrestlers in the same position would have just come out in regular old tights prepared for a regular old match. But Seth Rollins is like, no, I'm going to take this feud to the next level. I'm going to take this heel thing to the next level in my gear and do that extra bit. Put that extra piece of seasoning on top of it to show just how much of a heel I am. That's what separates him from everybody else. And that's what makes Seth Rollins arguably one of the best heels in the WWE right now.
You're so right. And then we get,
if not in all of professional wrestling right now, he's one of the best.
We get
Definitely
the one and only American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, coming out with such an awesome entrance, as always. Soon as he came out, he was wearing his jacket, right? And he did it so well. Covered it so well. Didn't move that arm as much. like I'm looking at like, wait, what arm was it again? I was like rereading some stuff. I'm like, okay, I think it's his right one. And I'm like trying to see, like how much pain it's causing him. I'm trying to see, like through his jacket and the lights, but like I'm still caught up in the entrance. But I didn't realize it, but when he does, before his pyro goes off, he only puts one arm out, and I didn't catch that at first.
Yeah,
And,
I've seen that. Yeah,
I didn't
caught
catch
it.
that at first, and I was like, oh man. But like I said, I was too caught up in the entrance, the spectacle of the music and the pyro and the Hell in a Cell, and because Cody Rhodes knows how to put on a fucking entrance, regardless if he's injured or not.
Because even then, it could still be just a work,
right?
At that point.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still like, could be a work. Could be a work. I don't know. So I'm still like, sitting at the edge of the seat, looking, still kind of interested. And then he does it. He takes off the jacket, and just the way he takes it off, how slowly he takes it off, and you see the ripped pectoral muscle. You see the blood, how it, basically internally. Like,
the internal bleeding, the bruising.
The internal bleeding and bruising. Yeah, how it just traveled down his arm all the way across his chest. You could see like around the armpit area. And the biggest thing I would say is like listening to listen to the crowd. Like, it's definitely good to turn up and listen to the crowd, because the crowd was dead silent.
Oh yeah. Once they saw this, it's like everybody in that moment realized, oh, this is real.
Yeah,
I feel it's like everybody was skeptical, even with all the reports. Every single person was skeptical. Like, this could still be a work. It could still be a work. Until the moment he takes that jacket off, and you see just how gruesome the injury is and how bad he really looks, and everybody simultaneously in the same moment just goes, oh.
Yeah, because we've seen
this is real.
Triple H had this injury before, but the thing was when I saw it, we don't see it during the match, but you see the picture on Twitter or whatever the next day, you're like, oh wow, that's
from the hospital.
My God, that's rough. But then like to see it in like in its 4K, form, like, you know what I mean? Like him wrestling in it. It's like, holy shit. Like, and they focus on it with the camera and you see it at different angles. And just like, you could hear people like, oh my God. Like even the commentators were just like shocked. And like, they said like, they said he's not at 100%. He's at, I would say 50%. And what I'm going to do is like, I think I'm going to play like that 30 seconds of like, whenever he takes that jacket off, like that, I'll play that at the very beginning of the podcast, when he takes that jacket off and like, he just shows that you can just hear the silence. And the thing is just like, they tried to wrestle, for like 2 or 3 minutes, and the crowd was still silent for a couple minutes. Yeah. Even though and I think it's because, they were still in shock, and like, still
and trying to see how is this going to go? Like okay, what type of match are we about to get? Are we about to get a squash or something? Are they going to try to protect him, or are they actually going to go? And then once they realize that, like, oh no, Cody's gonna go.
Yeah, and
the crowd started to get back into it.
They definitely had to pump Cody up with some sort of fucking shit in the back, because he was like in a lot of fucking pain. But like he went with that, he made it work. And Seth went for the arm a couple times, but like damn well Seth was protecting him, and he did a really good job at protecting him.
Of course, he's so good at it. He's so good at it.
I mean, we got to see. He took a kendo to the chest, and I like. Oh my God! He took there was a.
He did, and you could see that. And you could see in that spot though that Seth held back. Yeah. With a blow. Yeah. Like, he delivered it, but he kind of like hit him with a tap. Yeah, as opposed to what you would normally see. So definitely props to Seth Rollins for working and doing his best to protect Cody as best he could throughout the match, and taking some of the more gnarly spots. Like Cody took some spots of his own too, but a lot of the biggest spots, Seth took those spots on his own. And I heard that, and I've heard since then that there were other spots that were planned in the match that obviously had to be taken out because of Cody's injury. Like apparently there was going to be a moonsault spot from Cody at some point in the match, which was obviously taken out due to his injury. So they definitely made it work with what they had. And I appreciated other spots like the cowbell strap.
Yes, the
I appreciated that when they are we going old school with it? I loved it when he brought it out. I kind of wish they'd have kept it going through the rest of the match, though.
Yeah,
like once they did it, and then they took it off, and I was like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
At that point, it kind of felt more gimmicky than thing. Like I wish that would have lasted through the rest of the match. Because it took me back to the days of that old, Texas strap match and all those other ones that you would see back in the day.
Yeah.
I give this one a 5-star for me because it just had a little bit of everything in it. And with the controversy with the torn pec, I mean, like it kept me interested the whole match to see every move that he would take, every bump that he would take with the steel steps. He took a kendo stick to the chest. Then we saw the what always gets me is the weightlifting belts. When you hear that snap of that belt getting hit across your back, when either Seth or Cody gets hit with it, I mean, but yeah, when Cody gets hit, I mean, oh my god, the stinging sound it makes. It reminds me of whenever like Bianca hits somebody with her hair, like the stinging sound. It makes me cringe a little. I do like the crowd was really starting to pick up a bit because you got the crowd singing the Seth Rollins theme music and the way these guys are both carrying the match, they were saying thank you Rollins during the match. I believe that was also towards how well he was carrying,
how well he was working with Cody.
Yeah, how safely he was working with Cody and putting on. These guys are putting on a good fucking match. We saw some blood from Seth a little bit. I did love the bull rope because going under there you have tools. You have the toolbox, you have the kendo sticks, you have the steel chairs, the tables. They really wanted the table spot, which we do get. But yeah, we get the bull rope, and Seth was crazy enough to attach it to himself. But I loved it. I loved that whole that whole scenario.
School.
That very old school, because that's what his dad would have done, right? That's something you feel like his dad would have done. We did get a table spot, which was nice because the crowd really wanted a table spot. I did find it kind of funny the way the table splintered into like a million pieces. We do get, because Cody went through the table, which surprised me that Cody took the table bump.
We got two table spots. One with Cody going for the frog splash. That was the first one, and I think there was another spot with Cody later on in the.
And Cody used the pedigree, used the sledgehammer, and 2 crossroads with torn pec, and now he's 3-0 against Seth Rollins. That is why I gave it a 5-star match. It's my first one of the podcast that I give 5-star. I think it's the first time I've ever given a 5-star. There was just so much. Dre, what did you give it?
I'm gonna give it 4.75.
You son of a bitch! I get it.
I'm taking off a 1/4 star because I did not like the fact that Cody won the match.
Okay,
and that's nothing against Cody himself, but
it's the
going into the match, knowing that he was injured and that he's obviously going to have to take some time off. The writing was on the wall. Everything was set perfect for Seth Rollins to win the match without stifling Cody's momentum or hurting anyone. It was set perfectly. He's injured. Seth Rollins can go in there, beat the living crap out of him. Not saying they make it a squash, still having a good match, but the finish of the match could have just been an utter maniacal beatdown from Seth Rollins to put Cody down. Seth Rollins finally gets the win. It doesn't hurt Cody because Cody's injured, so it's a legitimate reason for him to lose. Seth Rollins finally gets a win and doesn't have to take a 3-0 squashing in this feud. And then it's and you have a valid reason for Cody to miss the time that he's very clearly going to have to miss due to this injury. So what they did, I feel like what they did Monday night in the feud, I mean, with the beatdown from Seth, is what should have happened in this match. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they decided to go with the superhero route of Cody winning the match despite all of this just didn't quite work. Just didn't work for me.
Right.
I would have, to me, Seth should have won this match. And they had all the valid reasons in the world to go that route. But for some reason, and nevertheless, they decided to give Cody the win, and I did not like that. So that's my only gripe, my one and only gripe about this match. Everything else about this match was top tier. I just did not like the fact that Cody won it.
I think you're right, because then they could have totally skipped out on whatever, what they did the next night on Raw. They could have just totally written that off.
Right. What happened that next night on Raw was unnecessary. Yeah, it was a cool moment seeing Seth run out there and walk out there and say, "You've earned my respect," and giving him the handshake, and then just to swerve him with the beat down afterwards. Like, that was unnecessary.
Very.
I didn't care for that segment on Raw. Like, that should have happened in the Hell in a Cell. Either Seth wins with a beat down that puts Cody out for time, taking total advantage of that injury and just completely putting him down, and Seth Rollins gets the win. Or even if you want to give Cody the win, fine, give him the win in the match. And afterwards, maybe have an injured or worn out Seth Rollins shake his hand that night in the ring, and then beat the crap out of him in the Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Now, they might not want to do that because they don't like. WWE doesn't like ending pay-per-views on sour notes. Usually they want to send the fans home happy. So you might not want to have a pay-per-view ending with one of your top babyfaces getting the living crap kicked out of them. I understand that, but if that's the case, give Seth Rollins the win. Damn it, let him just win the match with the beat down and just get the 1, 2, 3. Maybe it doesn't have to be a post-match beat down, but he could just win the match with a beat down. It's been done before. Sometimes fans can go up to home upset, and if ever there's a pay-per-view for a heel to win, it's a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell.
Okay, yeah, I feel you.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's my one and only gripe with the entire match. Other than that, I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Except for the finish.
See, all right,
Dave.
I got a few things to say about this match because I loved the match.
Yeah,
I gave it a 5 stars, and I remember I told you guys what was going to happen already. You know what I mean? That Cody was going to go over because Cody is the golden child right now, man. They don't have no Roman. Cody's hot as hell, and listen to the way we talk. We were just talking about Seth before all this. Seth is Seth, man. Yeah. Seth is. It doesn't matter. I don't think these losses to Cody Rhodes hurt Seth at all. The people still chant his name. They're supposed to be hating him right now. Hating him. He is the Joker to his Batman. You know what I mean? That's what Seth is right now. That's what this feud is. This is Joker and Batman right now. An ongoing feud that you never hate. We've been watching Batman fight Joker for years, and we always want Joker to fight Batman out of any other villain because that's how invested it gets you. And I think the whole roster should look at Cody and Seth right now because this is how you get people invested in an entertainment wrestling match. From the beginning, when he came out and he had that bruise on him, and he looked over at Seth with his father's clothes on, the disgust on his face. Oh my God, made you so invested because it just seemed so pure. The disgust on Cody's face. That's what I looked at. I look at every inch of their face and I watch Cody and man, you can tell how disgusted he was to see Seth wearing his dad's clothes.
Oh yeah, everything
made
on his
me
face.
Feel that.
His face said, "How dare you?"
Oh my goodness, man! It had me so invested. I was like, "Yes, let's go. Let's get this going." You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that Seth, he did carry this. He carried this match, man. He's so good at that. And I'm pretty sure he told Cody before they went out there, hey man, I got you. You know what I mean?
I believe
You
that.
go out there. We're going to do this match, and I'm gonna keep you safe. And that's what he did. He kept him safe, and they didn't have to do all those moonsaults, and it was awesome, man. Just because of the storyline in it, just because of just watching both of them how they interacted with each other. Seth is such a freaking genius, man. Like it really doesn't matter how you go about this match, whether Seth would have won or Cody would have won. I feel like this doesn't hurt Seth at all, man. He is just, oh man, I don't even know what to say about the dude, man. He's so good. He is so good at playing this role right now, and I just love seeing it. I wanted to see more. You know what I mean? And them coming out on Raw, like I feel like I liked the spot. I liked it because it just put more fuel on the fire. We know Cody's about to go. You know what I mean? But they made you feel for Cody. You know what I mean? Because he is the hero. They made you feel for him. You know, Seth knew what he was doing. He set the tone for when Cody comes back. That golden child, you know what I mean? Coming back to get his revenge. I think he's gonna come back, and I mean, hell, he probably gonna be Seth again. But I don't know. But we'll just have to see, because a lot of things could change with them. You know, trying to say Cody might be out for 6 months. Mm-hmm. Seth might be on something else by then. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But how he left it. You know what I mean? Beating him down. You know what Vince? You know how Vince is. If you're going out, whether you're leaving the company or you're going out, you got to take a complete ass whooping. Something bad has to happen to you. You know what I mean? They have to get you out of there and throw you out. And you know what I mean?
I mean, I agree with most everything you're saying.
I thought it was awesome, man. I thought everything about it was awesome. This is the most invested I've been in the storyline in a long time. You know what I mean? With the hero and the bad guy, man. And these two, they're just doing great at it, man. I think all the young guys should watch these two and see what they do and capitalize on it, man. Because this is sports entertainment right here, man. I'm telling you, this is old school right here.
Yeah. I agree with just about everything you're saying. My only agreed. Like, Seth isn't suffering at all by taking 3 L's. He's still the same character he always is. My only gripe with the finish is that. My gripe. My fear is that I don't want them to do with Cody. I don't want them to make a Super Cena out of Cody, like they did with John Cena. All those guys, where it's like they just can't be beat. They just overcome all odds, even when it's implausible. And I think we were all in agreement that going into this match, Cody, we all predicted, I think, that Cody was going to win. But that was pre-injury. With that, my only issue, like I said, if Cody would win into this match, not 100%, not injured, I would have had no problem with it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he was injured, and a real-life, legitimate injury, not a kayfabe one, but a real serious injury that he is legitimately going to have to be out for months on with, I think it would have just made much more sense for Rollins to win this match under those particular circumstances.
I see what you're saying.
And win it in a way that and win it in a way that puts Cody out for a significant amount of time, and then when Cody comes back, he can get his. You can do a Rollins Rhodes 4. Cody gets his revenge, gets the final win, and then can move on. Which I think they're going to end up having to do anyway, given the way Rollins took him out this Monday. Obviously, when Rhodes comes back, he's automatically going to be gunning for Rollins. So we're going to get Rollins Rhodes 4 anyway. Like I said, most likely, had it not been for the injury, I wouldn't have had any issue. But given the injury that he had and the seriousness and the extent of what it had, it just made more sense for Rollins to win this match.
See, I see what you're saying there too. But did you see look at those headlines, though, man. Look at those headlines after that match. Everybody praised the hell out of Cody for beating him with that injury, man. That's what they wanted. They wanted to make him look like he had to overcome that much. It was something else to put into the mix. So it you know what I mean? He beat Seth already, like, you know, in the regular matches. Nobody hurt 100%, but to get him over with that injury, put him on another level. You know what I mean? Coming back to the company, and you know them pushing him as the crazy baby face they're trying to push him as now. You know what I mean? Roman being you know, on the part time right now and stuff like that. Like you said, I know they could have went that way too. You're right. You're right.
Like
that
it's a fine line that they're walking with it right now. Like doing something like this. Like I said, my fear is I don't want him to be turned into like Super Cena, like they did with John Cena during his run, where he just could not be stopped, and the wins were just unbelievable. And doing something like this, I'm not saying it crosses into that territory, but it gets dangerously close to it. When you have a guy with a legitimate injury winning a match. I feel
you on that too.
Granted, they got good headlines and good PR out of it. For Cody Rhodes wrestles on the injury. I think even if he lost and they had a great match, they still would have gotten praise for, like, Cody Rhodes goes out there and guts it out in a phenomenal match and just comes up just short. And it would be believable that, he came up short because dude legitimately only got one freaking man titty. Other one's ripped off the bone. Like, he was still.
Hold on, Dre. That was a good one right there. I like that.
I'm just saying, like, he's still, everything could have still worked out positive for them with Seth winning without touching on or getting dangerously close to that Super Cena territory.
You're right. It could have went either way. I feel like it could have went either way, and it could have went. It definitely could have went that way. They could have done that too, but and also we don't. We still don't know what their plan is. You know what I mean? So that could be. It could go either way right now. Yeah, it's up in the air. 6 months is a long time. Is actually not a long time in wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on how long he's actually out. Because exactly. I think when Triple H had his pectoral injury, he was out for 4 months or like 4 to 6 months or something like that. But I think Cena came back in less than 4 months when he tore his pectoral. So it's up in the air as far as how long he's definitely not going to be. Probably out for SummerSlam. He's almost certainly out for SummerSlam. He's out for Money in the Bank, likely. So he'll probably come back sometime in the fall, and you can almost book it that when he comes back, his first match is going to be with Seth Rollins. Whether it'll be a pay-per-view match or not, we'll see. But obviously, after something like this, he's going to come back where you get Rollins Rhodes 4, and then they'll move on.
You know what's kind of crazy is that wasn't he like kind of egging on Raw yesterday about Money in the Bank?
Yeah, he was talking about it.
Right? Like he was why would they make him talk about it though? That's the thing about it. Is this injury as bad as they're saying? Or are they making the injury as bad as you know what I mean? Like you never know.
Honestly, I think that was just kayfabe. I think that was just him coming out talking. Yeah, I think that was just kayfabe. Him coming out, hey, I won. I still plan on competing. And next on my mind is Money in the Bank. And then Seth Rollins is really going to put you down.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. That is that most likely could be what happened.
Yeah. Which to me kind of makes that segment kind of dumb because it's like we all know he's going to have to miss time with this injury. You're not about to put him out here wrestling every week on Raw or once a month on pay-per-view with a torn pectoral muscle. He's obviously going to be out. So it doesn't make sense for him to come out here talking about wrestling on a pay-per-view when we know he's not going to do it. Which is, again, with no reason for, which again kind of sets up the obvious that, okay, somebody's going to have to actually really put him down, even though it did not have to happen that way because we knew he was injured last night, and y'all could have took care of all this in the Hell in a Cell match last night and not have to do this on Raw. But it is what it is now.
I'm like, where does Seth go from here for this time?
Money in the Bank.
I like after this great storyline,
Money in the Bank.
Where does he go? That's about it. Or either or will they help him build Bobby? Will we see a Seth Bobby feud? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just want to know where he's going after such a great a run. You know what I mean, with Cody. That's kind of hard to go from that to you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Overall, guys,
we still need, because he definitely needs a babyface to go after. You know,
well, I would say they got time to figure it out, because my guess is he's going to insert himself in the Money in the Bank match, almost certainly, and then they'll figure out. And then, after that, they'll probably figure it out. Because that's probably going to be the move for the next month.
Yeah,
is they're going to take their top stars from each brand. That's the one benefit they have, at least with Money in the Bank. They can take some of their top stars, throw them in this match. Cool, we bought ourselves a month, and then after that, we can figure out what the hell to do with these guys and individual storylines.
I still want to know what's up with the whole, like, are they still going to capitalize on the Roman not beating Seth thing? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what are they doing with that? Because they can always bring it back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Eventually, if they ever decide to go down that route again, but that would require Seth Rollins to have to be a babyface again, which...
Exactly.
I don't need him
that ain't happening after
right
last
now.
night.
No. Definitely not.
I'm just saying how they've been showing Roman as on all the lives, you know, catering to the crowd and stuff like that. You know, I know it was because he was leaving live shows. I understand that, but just having, you know, breaking character to do that when he's supposed to be, you know, who he is.
But that's the live stuff. That's stuff that's post-match and just for the fans. That doesn't really play into what's the actual storyline on television. The storyline on television is that he's still a top heel in the company.
No, of course. I understand that. But, you know, it's, you know, you just never know, you know. You just never know. And plus even the Usos, how they came out, you know what I mean, being all modest about being there for years and talking to the fans, like, you know, giving the fans homage, you know, and stuff like that. You know, it's a little suspect. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they usually been coming out saying screw everybody. They the bloodline. You know what I mean? But they coming out kind of modest right now. So it just has me feeling like they trying to change things up a little bit. You know, I always take those little hints. You know what I mean? You always got to read those little hints they give out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But
you see it though, right?
I see what you're saying. I
feel a change. I feel a change coming, and I don't know what the change is. But
I have that's where I have my doubts. I have my doubts that they're going to change them because, for one, when have we hardly ever seen a successful babyface faction?
You're right. You're right about that.
Almost never.
Right about
I'm
that.
thinking too. Like I can't think of one off the top of my head.
You can't think of when every faction, every major successul faction you've ever seen has been a heel faction.
Oh no, you're right.
Every single one.
Right.
Now you have some heel factions that have kind of gone back and forth, maybe being babyface for a little while, like DX. DX. They started off as heels.
Oh yeah,
DX started as heels, and then depending on who they were feuding with, could be looked at as a babyface for a little while, but it would always fall back to a heel. And then the other one you can think of is maybe NWO Wolfpack, which was a splinter off of the heel faction of NWO.
Right.
Because certain guys in the NWO were getting cheered, so they're like, okay, we're going to splinter those guys off and made Wolfpack. But for the most part, every faction of note in history has been a heel faction. And I don't see that really changing with the bloodline.
I could see this type of anti-hero, you know, faction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is also, WWE's not really lacking for baby faces.
Yeah.
They're not really lacking for what they're lacking of is in top heels.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense for them to try to turn bloodline babyface, especially given how dominant that they've been. Like they've been absolutely dominant, and all of a sudden now you're going to turn them to a babyface. Now, how the hell are they going to lose now?
Oh no, I understand that. But we, you know, because you know we're going to need some, you know, when Survivor Series come around. You know what I mean? And you got the Judgment Day. You know what I mean? And then you got You got the
and Judgment Day's
Bloodline.
not in a position to take over the Top Heel faction.
Oh no, not yet, not yet. I honestly, there I see a lot of big things they could do with the Judgment Day. I really hope they don't screw it up. I really hope they don't. But I see, because we all know, at least I know that Finn Balor can play that role well. He really can. You know what I mean? We see him as the Prince, and man, when he was the Prince in NXT, he murdered. He can play that mean role well. And I hope with this whole dark demeanor, the Demon King comes out of him with this faction. Yeah, it would be awesome. The Demon King come out there in the suit.
That
something
would
like
be cool.
Oh,
It would
man,
be.
Oh,
I
my
think they got a long way to go before they're seen as viable threat to the bloodline.
Of course. And I could also see, like, because I was really hoping. I know it's a big thing with Bray right now with the Fiend or Bray coming back. We don't know. Nobody knows where he's going. He's been sending messages online. You know what I mean? We really don't know where he's going. I hope he goes back to WWE because I just feel like when it comes to that cinematic and everything else, they bring the best out of him. They would. But a lot of things can happen right now, and it's. Oh man, I don't know. I'm just caught up because there's so many good things that can happen with this faction.
All right.
I'll believe Bray Wyatt when I see it.
Yeah.
I think he's just doing it to maintain interest.
Of course, and I know he's gonna. We all know he's gonna wind up somewhere, but everybody's just hoping he comes to their promotion, but. It would be.
I'm not
nice
even fully convinced he's going to come back to wrestling. Really?
Huh?
You think
I'm not
so?
even fully convinced he's going to come. I'm not saying he's not going to. I'm just not fully convinced that he's really going to do it. Like I said, when it comes to Bray Wyatt, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
because he could just as easily be doing this just to keep people's interest, just to keep people's attention. I might be coming back to wrestling just to keep people paying attention to him while he works on other projects. Yeah. Isn't he supposed to be developing a horror movie or something of that?
He's done it already. That's why people were really thinking like, he was, because he basically, the way he's talking, he's saying he's ready. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's ready to come back. So, you know what I mean? Like that's why, I don't know. And Bray kind of gives you, it's kind of real with what he says. I want to say. You know what I mean? I don't know I don't think he'll keep us hanging because I just don't know. I guess time will tell. But I really hope he comes back soon because I miss him. You know what I mean? And we need him. I feel like we need him. We need that entertainment, that type of entertainment factor out there.
So, Hell in a Cell. Overall, was it a pretty good pay-per-view? I know you guys went on a rant. I let you go. I let you guys go on your rant. I was like, you guys both had different opinions. I like this. I want you guys butt heads a little bit.
Man.
I love it. I love the controversy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Heck
yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean... but yeah, overall, I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good. I was more surprised at how it turned out. But yeah, let's take a quick break here. I gotta use the bathroom, and then I want to refill my drink as well. And then we are gonna talk a little bit of Raw and any kind of news that we may have so far. So yeah, let's take a quick break.
All right.
Yeah, and we're back. It was a nice little break. We're gonna talk about what happened the next night on Monday Night Raw. Little bit of stuff. Now I watched it on Hulu because I don't really want to pay money to watch Raw and SmackDown because it just gotten to that point where that's all I had left was just wrestling, just Raw and SmackDown. And then when I realized how much time I could free up by not watching all of the commercials and all of the long entrances, and I could just watch it on Hulu. So I got some show notes here, and if I miss anything, please let me know. They opened the show with Cody Rhodes coming out, We did discuss this a little bit earlier. With Cody Rhodes coming out, he talking about how he wants to go to Money in the Bank. He gives a good speech about how it's 4 weeks away. And I'm like, dude, you're going to be out for like 6 months. There's something deep inside me that's like, Vince is fucking crazy enough that he would be like, you just need to grab the briefcase. You know, you just need to grab the briefcase, and then you can just hold on to it for 6 months, and you can come back and just cash it in. Like, it's an easy, like, way for him to easily just slip right back into any storyline, is yes, with the Money Bank briefcase. But, like, I don't know how you would, in 4 weeks, I don't know how he would be able to perform in that match. And, you know, then we saw Seth Rollins come out, and they, you know, they said he respect him, and shook his hand, and then he said something to him. I don't know what it was. I'm sure it was something nice. Which, you know, I did enjoy that moment a little bit. But then, typical heel Seth Rollins, you know, you got typical heel fashion move, you got to take out the face, make sure you put him out of his misery. And we see him attack him with the sledgehammer. And then we saw about 20 refs come out. And Curtis Axel came out. And they just couldn't stop him. He was an animal. Nobody could take him down. It was crazy. But, yeah. We talked about this for a bit. How this is basically how to write Cody out of the storyline. Do you guys see any way, shape, or form that he could leave with that briefcase? How do you book it so he can come back 6-7 months from now and have that briefcase?
Absolutely not. This is what I was talking about earlier when I talked about Hell in a Cell and I mentioned believability and the whole Super Cena thing. If you somehow let this man come back in a few weeks with a torn pectoral muscle, an injury that we have seen other wrestlers be out for months with, and this man comes back in less than a month and wins a match, a Money in the Bank match, which means he would be in a match with that's usually a 6-person match. I don't know how many people usually compete in Money in the Bank. If it's like somewhere between 4 to 6.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
Yeah,
it was like 6 to 8.
But either way, win a match against that many people.
Yeah, with
a torn pectoral muscle, compete against that many people, climb a ladder, and pull down something. No, like you can push the audiences. You can ask the audience to suspend belief, but so far, you do that. You've pushed them beyond, in my opinion, you have pushed them beyond believability, and it could potentially backfire on them and cause the fans to turn on Cody. If it feels like you're shoving him down their throats and pushing him too much.
Yeah, you know, and I feel where you're coming from too. Yeah, I mean that, but like, I mean. We've seen some crazy stuff, and I know these days, you know, with K-Fab being basically gone, it's just like, you know what I mean, we've seen the Undertaker come alive like how many times, people being set on fire there the next week, you know what I mean, like all types of stuff, you know what I mean, like we've seen a lot of things, and I feel like it all comes down to how they build the storyline, how the storyline comes out. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there are things that can take those type of things, those small things off of people's mind. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like when is Money in the Bank? What, July 2nd, right?
Yeah, 4th of July.
July 2nd. Yeah, so
because it's on a Saturday. They're billing it as a premium live event as opposed to an actual pay-per-view.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, we know if it's as bad as they're saying it is, that it takes a lot longer than that, you know, to come back from that. And, you know, I really don't know how Vince is putting Cody out there, but the way he's looking right now, especially beating a guy like Rollins in the position he was in, I mean, anything's possible with the way they throwing Cody out there right now. You know what I mean? Like, I know Vince is the type of guy likes to, when somebody's on fire like Cody is right now, he needs to run with them before it gets sour. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's how it is. Because I mean, looking at when Cody was in AEW, he was on fire, and then all of a sudden the fans started turning on him. You know what I mean? He went sour because they wanted him to go heel, and he wouldn't go heel. You know what I mean? So, as fickle as the fans are now, I think they're always going to try to get the most out of what they can, because that's how it is now. As fast as they can. You know what I mean? Before it becomes sour and they're switching up again and they're on another train.
Always rushing storylines. Never taking minutes to savor or to think about the next move. They just want to rush and get these things out.
They're rushing it, and they're rushing it because they trying to get. That's how fans are now, though, man. The fans want it now. You know what I mean? They feel like things have to come now. Us guys that love wrestling and we've been watching for a long time. We love the build in them storylines and the, you know what I mean? Everything they put into them, but it's like the fans now they just want it now. So I think they know that now, and they're trying to build to them fans, and they're like, we got he's hot right now. Let's get him out there. Let's keep him hot. Let's do what we can to keep him hot. You know what I mean? So it's really up in the air for me right now. I really don't know what they're going to do, but I kind of think that they're going to do whatever they can to get him back quick.
Well, Dave,
and fast,
as Batista would say,
"Give me what I want."
Give
me what I want.
Give me what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
like I said,
and we know, and like Dre said, we know how it can be perceived. It could be perceived as, shoving them down people's throats. You're right. It could be that way. But the way the industry is now is and plus with how AEW is right now, and it's a big thing that they'll probably be shoving them down our throats.
Yeah, but you can't do that with. Yeah, but you can't do that with a real injury. If this was a kayfabe thing, or they were writing him off television because he was going on vacation, and they wanted to okay, I know you wanted to go on vacation, but can you cut that short because you're really hot right now? So can we run with this? That would be one thing. But this is a real, legitimate injury that he has. You can't force past real, legitimate injuries. No matter how much you try it, you just can't.
Yeah,
so there's no way he can believably go in there and compete in that match. There ain't that much rehab in the world for him to do that.
Is like, I can wrap it in a cast made of cash.
Yeah, I think they should just, since they did what they did with Rollins, right?
Yeah.
I say, hey, Rollins wins the Money in the Bank. Rhodes comes back, takes that briefcase from Rollins in the match. I mean, that could be possible.
I don't think Cody needs the Money in the Bank suitcase. Though.
You know what? I don't think he does neither, bro. Are you right? I don't think he needs it.
He doesn't need it.
As hot as he is right now, I don't think he does either.
But originally, that was the rumors we heard.
The regular old babyface, but he doesn't need a Money in the Bank cash in.
Right.
I understand. You're exactly right, man. You are right. But I just don't know what they're going to do with that whole Seth and him thing. You know what I mean?
I can tell you easily, him and Seth is on hold until Cody comes back. Cody comes back, you get Roddy Rhodes 4, Cody wins again, and then they move on.
Yeah,
basically, Cody Rhodes is going to get his revenge match whenever he comes back from injury.
Of course.
And that's it. And it's done.
Or you see him maybe the Rumble, and he's the one who throws Rollins out. I mean, could you imagine if Cody Rhodes came out as number 1 and finished it? I mean, think of the entrance. I'd be surprised
if he was out that long.
Honestly. But also when do they usually have the draft?
It was supposed to after WrestleMania. That's what I mean. I don't think it's going to happen anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
did they have
usually they would
have
have been had it by now. But if the brand split
That's
is
what I was about to say. They didn't have a draft this year.
nah, because and that's why a lot of people are saying that the brand split is officially unofficially over. So if that's basically a done deal that it's like over without actually being over, there may not be a draft.
They could, but you know what? They could still have a draft, and the same thing could happen before. Remember, wasn't Rollins in the feud with somebody when the last draft happened, and he went somewhere and the other person went somewhere else? I'm trying to remember who he was in a feud with when the draft was happening, because Rollins was in a feud with somebody, but then that person either went to SmackDown and he was on Raw. I can't remember exactly how it went, but I know that I remember that happening, and I'm wondering if that could happen. You know what I mean? One of them gets switched to another brand, and the other one stay there, and it's just like a stalemate on their feud. But
I mean,
you know,
there's so many ways you can spin it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of ways you can spin it. You know what I mean? So you know, I guess it is to be determined.
Yeah, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on here, because I could definitely talk about Cody and Seth Rollins all fucking day.
Oh yeah,
But so I walk downstairs and to go grab something. I come back up and I see Becky Lynch in the ring with Dana Brooke, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this? This is not. One of these things are not like the other. So
that segment was so weird, bro. It was so weird
because then so now I'm thinking, okay, squash match, you know, and then all of a sudden Tozawa starts running down the ring with the 24/7 title, with R-Truth, Tamina, Dominic Dijakovic, and the 24/7 title shtick. And then, you know, I kind of got a little excited because I thought we were going to get maybe a Becky Lynch winning a 24/7 title, man.
I did too.
Yeah, because then we get Dana somehow pins Tozawa in the middle of a match she's currently in. Ref counts it. She wins the title. Immediately, Becky Lynch should have knocked her the fuck out and just taken it immediately. Yeah. Like, you don't even need to announce it; just immediately, just knock her the hell out. But no, she announces that she's gonna have a match with her. If anybody interferes, she's going to break them in half. So of course nobody interferes. But then, you know, Asuka's music hits, and that's enough of a distraction. You know, enough of a distraction that she could get rolled up. So, you know, Asuka comes out and, you know,
surprise, motherfucker,
and it distracts her enough that she gets pinned. But Dana Brooke,
well, Asuka helped her. Remember, Asuka helped. She grabbed Becky Lynch's leg and helped hold her down for the 3 count.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, Dana Brooke got a win over Becky Lynch.
I always feel like why they. I don't even know why they had to do that. What are they doing with Becky Lynch right now? Like I don't understand.
I don't
like
know either now.
The whole thing of it's kind of feels true. Becky Lynch, you're nothing without the title. You know what I mean? Like they're making it feel that way right now.
And
you know
that's
what I mean?
not how she is. She's definitely something without the title. But they're throwing this little pity party to make you think that she's nothing. I'm like, why? And now why is she now wrestling Dana Brooke for the 24/7 title? What the fuck is going on? Like,
I don't know. I hate everything. I hate everything about the 24/7 shtick. It was dumb. This was the dumbest reason to start. This was the dumbest reason to further the Becky Lynch Asuka feud. That's pretty much all this was.
Yeah,
basically a reason to set up Becky Lynch versus Asuka at the next pay-per-view. And this was the dumbest freaking reason, or the dumbest way to go about doing it, by putting her into what was everybody saw a mile away was going to be a squash match then insert the ridiculous 24/7 shtick into it, and then actually have her legitimately challenge for the title that is so far beneath her, it's not even funny. So at that point, it's like, there's no way they're going to actually put that damn belt on her, because who the fuck's going to beat her to take it off?
Yeah, I know.
Like, that was dumb and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then to go the route that everybody knew that we were going eventually anyway, which was Asuka versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
It was just so dumb.
I just thought that the 24, like with the 24/7 championship, I just thought that was going to be like a gimmick belt with having somebody like Truth, who's entertaining, who deserved that belt because he's like the, you know what I mean, the entertainment king.
He is the 53-time champion. Show him some respect.
And that's what it should be. That's what the 24/7 belt should be. It's a gimmick belt.
Exactly. But being on Dana Brooke, it's boring. She's not entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, you go from Truth being that long 24/7 champion, making everybody laugh every week, doing everything he needs to. That's what that belt should mean.
He
like
pinned
a person
somebody
like,
on a plane once.
Like, yeah, we need somebody entertaining holding that belt to keep it relevant for that fact. You go from Truth to Dana Brooke, like Dana Brooke, I don't know what they put the belt on her for, like that 24/7 title. Like, she's just making the belt dull. I'm sorry, you know? Like, that's an entertaining belt to me.
I don't even
stop
care
around
about
the 24/7 title. You know?
I don't even care about that title being seen on Raw. Honestly, if it was me, the 24/7, I would use the 24/7 belt for web skits.
I know, but
that's
the
it. Like you know how SNL, no, but how SNL though, how SNL has their web skits where they like there's a live show and then they have their own web skits to further the SNL channel. If I was in the WWE, that's what I would do with the 24/7 belt. It would be web skits. You would see that. If you want to know what's going on with the 24/7 belt, tune into our YouTube channel. Yeah, that's where you would find it. I would not even waste a moment of Raw's time with that belt. I would let y'all get your creative team. You can have your own creative team with your own dedicated writers. Like, look, y'all's job is to produce as many entertaining web skits involving the 24/7 belt. That's it. That's your job. They do whatever you want to do.
Ryder, man.
Dave.
That was Zack Ryder.
It can happen at backstage. It can happen in the airport. It can happen in the grocery store.
Right.
It can happen in an Uber. I don't care what you do. Just produce entertaining skits. They get views on the YouTube channel.
Dave.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, check this out.
I just like somebody would have made that. The person makes the belt. So if you put somebody on that belt that's going to help make the belt relevant or make it relevant for that entertainment factor, I think it would be worth it. But when you just go put the belt on people, lean entertaining, it's not worth having it on the show. You know what I mean?
Fuck
the person makes the belt.
So Dave,
the belt. The heavyweight title belt's boring when some people hold it. You know what I mean?
But it still has the prestige of being the world heavyweight title.
Oh, of course.
The 24/7 belt is just a gimmick.
Oh yeah, we all know that.
It's just a gimmick, and it should be treated as a gimmick. Then I don't care who you put that belt on; it ain't gonna carry no credibility. It's a gimmick belt. Just use it for what it is—a gimmick and your entertainment, and that's it.
Yeah.
Put it for your not even your Z list wrestlers, the guys who are on the roster who are just under the contract, who you ain't got shit to do with them. Put them over there. Let them produce some entertainment skills. Let them work on their comedy timing. Let them do something. That way they're doing something productive, but just stop wasting Raw time with this dumbass thing.
I'm Vince McMahon, and I'm calling you, and I'm telling you, I need you to fly all the way out to Chicago because I have a job for you tonight at Raw. You're like, okay. So you get your wrestling gear, you get your ticket, you know, you spend the time, you drive to the airport, you make it a massive inconvenience for your family because your wife drops you off at the airport, but you guys only have one car. And you fly all the way to Chicago, and then you get in a shitty ass hotel, and there's no parking, and you had to fucking walk to the arena because there was no cars, and you get to this fucking arena, and you step on a puddle, you're fucking wet, your foot's all wet, and then you have diarrhea on top of that. I don't know why I added that, I just did, but you get there, and then you find out your job for tonight is to fuck around with the 24/7 title. do you not think for like a split second you're like questioning what company you should be working for? Like, this is your wrestling career. Like, you're gonna go in the Hall of Fame probably, but it's gonna be for this. This is gonna be one of the highlights of your career, Tamina. I'm talking to you, Tamina. You know, you should probably just be in the bloodline. But no, chasing 24/7 title. You know, Dana Brooke should be worrying about maybe the women's tag team titles or women's title, or maybe she should have gone to NXT with Mandy Rose. But no, she's fucking around 24/7 title. I don't know what the hell Reggie's doing. But anyway,
they just happy. Hey, those people are just happy to get TV time, man.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. That's what it is. It's like, hey, you need a paycheck, you need TV time, let's get you on. But yeah, the fact that that's a lot of work for, I don't know.
Get a goddamn paycheck on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Exactly. So, thankfully, after this shit, we move on. Miz is on, and he brings Maurice with him. Damn, I'll tell you what. Nobody can put Miz down. Like, if you've seen where he lives, where he's come from, you know, his wife, he has it all. Like, hats off to that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, good for him. Like, yeah. But anyway, Miz was talking about how he is a former Money in the Bank winner twice. You know, Miz is another one of those guys who, if you look at his stats, he's done a lot of shit in between holding the WWE title, beating John Cena at WrestleMania, you know, Money in the Bank winner multiple times, United States Intercontinental and Tag Team multiple times. You know, Miz has done a lot, you know. So I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, Miz, I'm in. I'm down. He should be in that match. And then we had Riddle come out, and, you know, then I definitely see Riddle in this match now that Randy isn't around. So I think Randy is out with a back injury still. So we're going to see Riddle in the Money in the Bank match as well, I guess. Or he's going to be going possibly against Roman. Is that the angle that they might be going with? You know, Riddle versus
he's
Roman?
talking like he's gunning for Roman, but I don't think there's going to be a Roman Reigns Riddle match.
Anytime
I think he's
soon.
more likely going to be in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
match.
I was thinking the same thing.
I just haven't heard anything about Roman being scheduled to wrestle anytime soon.
Yeah, me either.
What I heard,
I've seen that he's not going to be. You know, that match might not happen. I was reading that match might not happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the earliest we might see Roman wrestle again would probably be SummerSlam. If then.
Yeah. They're about to start treating Roman like he's the new Brock Lesnar, man.
Oh yeah, we're there already. We're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a part-time champion.
Dave, are you
Pretty much.
microwaving shit in the background?
Yeah, it went off in the background. Sorry about that.
You son of a bitch. This guy making fucking popcorn and Hungry Man's diet fucking food in the background.
I will say one thing that really did catch my attention in this skit is with Riddle, he always comes out and he's this lighthearted, fun-loving guy and all that stuff.
Yep.
But because he does that so much, when he does occasionally get serious, you take note of it.
Yeah.
Like when he was coming out there, you know, talking about his bro Randy and all that stuff, and then Miz started going off, and then Riddle just looked at him and said, "Why don't you just shut the hell up?" I was like, "Oh,
I know, right?"
I'm like, you might want to do as you told, Miz. This man is not playing with you." So like that's the part that works with Riddle is because he plays up the lightheartedness so much. When he does get serious or when he does get legitimately angry, it has much more impact and effect because it's a break from what you normally see from him.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So yeah, I like that. And this somewhat angry side of him wanting to get at the bloodline. I don't know if it's ever actually going to happen in a meaningful way, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah, I think he could have a damn good match with Roman Reigns for the title.
He's got to beat both the Usos in singles pay-per-views first, then he'll get a chance to go against the Tribal Chief.
I don't even think he needs to do that. I don't think they even need to drag it out that long. I think they could put him straight into a match against Roman Reigns, and it could be work and be a damn good match.
They did just get done doing some stuff with the Usos, so why the hell not?
Yeah, I'm about to say he's done all the work with the Usos. He's already wrestled against them. Yep. He could right now go straight into a match against Roman Reigns if they wanted to, and I think it could work. Obviously, he would not win, but it would be a damn good match, and you best believe the crowd would eat it up as much as Riddle is over with the fans.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think the same thing. I think the same thing with that. I think Riddle would be an awesome match for Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? Like, it would help Riddle for one. But I honestly think if they built Riddle enough, he could beat the Tribal Chief and like if they built him for that, for that spot, I think they could because he's super over with the crowd. You know what I mean?
He's winning. If he's winning against Roman, he's taking only
I'm just
one
saying.
title.
I'm not saying they would, but I'm just saying they could.
I can win a non-title match, but I don't see them unless they wanted to go the shock route. If they really wanted to shock people like
then give him
back in the day when Jericho got that surprise win on Triple H on Raw years ago for the title and immediately lost it like later on that episode. They could pull that. I just don't think WWE has the balls to do that.
Oh, I know they don't have the balls, but I'm just saying like Riddle has that aggression how Daniel Bryan has. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he's super nice, but he has that aggression, man. That like, you know what I mean? Like he can go out there. He could be funny. You know what I mean? He can make you love him. And then on the other hand, when it's time to get down to business, Riddle is crazy in the ring, man. Right. Like he's all over the place. He's strong, athletic, fast. He can do it all. Yeah, and I just felt like if they built Riddle up and they built a good amount of matches with him fighting, I mean main roster guys, like some big time guys, and just knocking them off. He could be a great babyface going down the line.
If you're talking long term booking, then I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Building him up for somebody like Roman, you know what I mean? It can be he definitely could be a believable competitor against Roman. You know what I mean? He's lethal in the ring.
Yeah, long term. Yeah, I agree with you absolutely. Long term, I was just talking about like an immediate thing. Like I don't see them. Ain't no way in hell they're gonna throw him in a match with Roman now and put the title up. No.
But you know what?
Something long term, sure, I can see it happening.
But I also don't think that because Riddle rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the back, and Roman was one of them guys. So it would be rough for him now also because does Roman want to help put him over?
Well, no, like I said, there's no way in hell that it would happen now. So I'm not even considering that. I'm just saying it would be a good match for them to have now. If they wanted to have a good, entertaining match that the fans would be into, they could absolutely do it now, and it could work now. But there's absolutely no chance in hell of Riddle winning it. That's the only downfall against it, is that would be predictable that Riddle's not winning at all. Mm-hmm. But you could still have a good, entertaining match.
Oh, I believe that.
And I agree, down the line, long term, you could potentially build Riddle up, to be seen as a viable champion long term, yes.
Oh, yeah. We all know. I think we all know Riddle's next big thing is him and Randy breaking up, and a feud between them.
I know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. One of them's going to turn heel.
It is. Randy turns on everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And if Randy Orton, and I can see it happening, and especially if Randy is thinking about hanging it up and calling it quits sometime soon. Yeah. I can see one of his final feuds being like, turn on Riddle and put him over.
Let me throw this at you guys real quick. Dave, let me throw this at you guys.
Yeah.
Riddle turning heel. And then him being the one going around sarcastically saying, you know who else was my friend? Randy. He was my friend too, bro.
That would be cool.
Real heel Riddle. Wearing shoes, no longer barefoot. He's not flipping.
I can't see it without a major change in how he presents himself.
Yeah, I know.
The way he presents himself now just does not lean towards heel. I thought the same way about
Bailey, man. I thought they could never turn Bailey into a heel.
And what did Bailey have to do?
Cut her hair.
significantly change herself.
Oh
Riddle's
yeah, of
gonna
course.
cut his hair.
Of
Give
course.
him the Bailey cut.
Nah, not even that. All you got to, I see Riddle putting the ponytail in,
Yeah, like Pete
putting
Dunne.
some sunshades on.
Oh, I'm sorry, like Butch.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I just
Yeah.
see him. I just see him doing something like that because the whole thing
Shoes
would be
on.
he learned everything from Randy, right? So
Yeah.
he learned how to
Suit
be
on.
that snake-like thing from Randy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He learned everything from Randy. So he's going to be like, Randy, this is what you made me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You made me,
Randy
Randy.
legitimately likes Riddle in real
Yeah.
life, the way he talks about him
Yep.
in real life. So how we know he's not passing that torch to Riddle? He's
Yeah.
letting him do the RKO. He's letting him do these things. How we know he's not teaching Riddle how to be the next Great Hill? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Randy
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
he's going to be out the door eventually. He said he has a lot of time left, but how do we even know that this? I mean, he might be injured, but how we know is that bad? You know what they do. You know how they do. Randy
Right.
could jump out of nowhere any day and just RKO Riddle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
But-
I'm not saying that Riddle can't be a heel. I'm
of
saying
course. I know-
the Riddle
I know
that
what
we
you
see
mean.
on TV now
Mhm.
cannot be a heel. Not without a
yeah.
drastic change into
Oh,
his
yeah.
presentation. Just like
Yeah.
Bailey. There's no way in
Mhm.
hell Bailey could be the heel with the side ponytail and the bright colors and hugging everybody.
Going
She
around
had to-
hugging that damn body.
Right. She had to undergo a major makeover in her character to
Definitely.
be the heel, and then it clicked and worked, and she went to the next level.
Yep.
I'm saying that's the same thing that would be required of Riddle. He ain't
Oh,
coming out there in flip flops and a scooter
You're right.
as a heel.
He would turn on him in that demeanor, but then he would have to come back out differently.
Right. Right. He has to have a whole makeover to try to be a heel.
Oh yeah.
The flip flops, the scooter, the freaking man draws, all that got to go.
I
He wanted to
say
start wrestling. He wanted to actually put on some boots or at the very least some pants.
Mhm.
I don't even know if he could be a heel and be barefoot.
I know, right? But how awesome would it be?
No. I mean, dude, it would be the heel thing to do though, to wear shoes, because he likes, like, the biggest thing in his entrance is flipping those
Right.
flip flops off. So to take that away,
He'd have to, either put on some boots or at the very
Yeah.
least, if maybe that's just his personal wrestling style and he feels personally more comfortable being barefoot, he'd have to have like black tape around his feet or something like that. He'd have to change up some stuff about him
'Cause
significantly.
I forget why he said he wrestles barefoot, but I know because remember when Rusev used to wrestle barefoot, but Vince made him put shoes on,
he broke his damn ankle
Something-
though.
huh?
I think it's because he broke his ankle, then he made him wear shoes.
No, I know, but I know Vince told him to put shoes, asked him to put shoes on, but for some reason, I remember Riddle saying why he wears no shoes. You know what I mean?
Right. It may be something with his style or how he, or
Yeah.
a preference of his. And I'm just saying, like, as a heel, he might have to change that up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
At the very least, like I said, even if he's not fully bare, maybe pants and barefoot might slide. But even then, I would think he still probably have to at least like tape up his ankles and feet or something like that. Just some subtle change that as like could be like a compromise. We need you to have a heel look, and barefoot ain't a heel look, but we know you still prefer being barefoot when you wrestle. So as a compromise, how about you tape up the ankles and the foot,
And that
and
would
just have
be,
it taped up, and that could be the compromise that could work.
that would be a good remember Saget from Street Fighter?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely look like a heel and
the Muay Thai type look.
Yeah. That would be
So
awesome.
we saw Ciampa come out and attack Riddle,
Mhm.
and then we did see there's a scene where Riddle takes Miz's pants and rips his pockets. Now, listen, if you follow me on Instagram, every day I'm posting shit on my Instagram stories, and I've been posting the past couple weeks. I don't know why I've been finding these funny, but it's just people ripping each other's pants, and I actually thought this was kind of funny because I've been seeing it all week. So I guess it's a trend. I mean, like, I don't want to be a part of it, but I did laugh though, but Riddle like struggled with it. Man, he didn't do it clean enough, but I still laughed. But yeah, so now I guess we're gonna have a little thing with Ciampa and Riddle. Yeah.
which is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So now I'm hoping that since, well, actually, I'll just talk about it a little bit later with Ciampa. But moving on real quick, we get just a regular tag team match. Well, I guess not a regular because the Street Profits get a win over the Usos, but it's via countout. So I was like, really? Via countout? That's how we're doing this win over the undisputed tag team champs? Just over a countout? Okay, whatever. So
I didn't mind it just because it was
got a win.
Just because it was a championship contenders match.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't like if they would have gotten the pin on them in a contenders match, then that would pretty much almost guarantee that they're going to lose during the actual title match.
So does this
But
mean that
them
they're
winning
gonna,
via
they get the title
countout
match
to me
still?
to me works. It works for them. Like they won by outsmarting them. They didn't have to actually get the pin, so it still kind of leaves it somewhat up in the air as to what the outcome of an actual title match could be.
Yeah. Hey, for a minute there, I felt like the Street Profits was going heel for a minute there. Didn't y'all think that?
For a little
They came
bit.
out, they got a little aggressive, and they started getting a little more cocky. You know what I mean? I felt like it was a turn coming, but they could have been, putting it out there, but then they could have went back on it too. You know what I mean?
I like them as faces. They work well as a face tag team.
Oh yeah, of course. But I think they would also be good heels. I think they got character. I think they got good enough character to just switch it up, and that's what make the good and the great. You know what I mean? You're great to play both roles.
Yeah, we just don't need another heel tag team.
Oh,
We've got
not at
plenty
all.
of them
No,
right
no,
now.
We didn't need
I feel
to
you.
keep the faces, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
But
after this, Lashley cuts a promo. I guess they're really pushing him to be a face.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Wait, you guys buying it? Do you guys want him to stay a face? I mean, because now it looks like they're gonna have him and Cedric Alexander. He's like, yeah, man, like, good job for standing up for yourself. Like, now you're a face. You know, like,
but if he doesn't do it, who's going to?
I know.
I mean, I know they got Cody, but now we don't know what's going on with Cody. But also, because come on, Lashley played a good heel, a good face in TNA. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He had a good run there, being a face, and I think he could. I think right now, I just think they need to get away from the whole almost and all that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still let him be the Almighty, that vicious Almighty, but he could still be a face, bro.
Well, they have
he could still be a face
him in
as
theory.
long as he's being.
Maybe
He can keep that viciousness and still be a face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the biggest problem with Lashley is
what Big E needed. That's what Big E needed. To be honest, I'm just saying that.
What were we gonna say, Dre?
I would say, the biggest problem with Lashley is that his mic skills are still so lacking.
Oh yeah.
He is so mediocre on the mic. Like, even just hearing him cut that promo, it sounds so outdated to me. It sounds like he's cutting a promo like a wrestler from the 80s or 90s, as opposed to that. And I thought he had an opportunity when Theory came out there to interrupt his promo. I was like, this is an opportunity for you to establish yourself as a top guy if you just can talk shit the right way. And he didn't. He didn't. All he had to do was when Theory was walking down the ring and talking that trash, all Bobby Lashley had to do was just interrupt him and say, son, if you step in this ring, it ain't going to end well for you. Just say something that establishes a clear difference between you two. Like that, just a simple statement that just establishes that, son, you ain't on my level. Be careful. Something like that. Instead, he does this whole thing of, oh, well, since you're in the ring and you want to challenge me, well, why don't you put that title on the line? And it's like, God damn it, Bobby.
Sometimes, you're right, though, man, because sometimes less is better, man.
Exactly. Less can be so much more. And, he really I know he's trying to work on being better on the mic, but man, he needs to go to somebody's class or something. Like, spend a summer with The Rock. Learn how to really talk shit. Go to somebody who was just good at talking shit on the mic and just learn from them and soak it up. Because that's the part that is so much missing from him and holding him back as a face is his mic skills. And that's why he worked so well with MVP, because MVP has that. Yep. And MVP could do all the talking, and then he could just wreck shop in the ring.
Yep. And that sucks, because that's the same thing that happened to Cesaro. You know what I mean? Like, he's so great in the ring, but his mic skills wasn't up to par, I should say. You know what I mean? Right. But if Cesaro had those mic skills, I think he would have been way higher on the food chain. You know what I mean? Yeah. When it came time to getting that belt, because he had, oh my goodness.
Now, what I did appreciate was that when Theory turned his back to Lashley just kicked him out the damn ring. I did appreciate that. That part.
It was pretty aggressive. Which I laughed.
Right. That part worked. It was just all the other stuff in between that just did not work. It was like, look at my bicep. And he's like, looking real. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And also,
right, bro.
Right. And also, does anybody really want to see Bobby Lashley and Theory get into a feud? Like, that's not a feud that benefits either one of them. Like, if you want to push Theory, it doesn't. I mean, I guess it would help Theory to do it, but the benefit to Theory is not worth what it would cost Lashley to lose to him.
Right.
Yeah, but if they're building him, if they're building Theory to fight John Cena, he's going to have to beat somebody relevant.
No, he doesn't. So, he could jump right in with John Cena. John Cena could be the thing that elevates him.
I know what you're saying, but they usually always build it that way, that you beat. Like, look at Lashley. Lashley had to beat certain people before he could get to Brock Lesnar.
Right,
you know what I mean?
So you're saying maybe Austin Theory gets a roll up kind of win over
what I mean?
Lashley, just to elevate him to that next level to get him prepped for John Cena. I mean, I understand that, but I understand Dre. I totally get what you're saying too. Like, yeah, you could just throw him right in there with John Cena right now, because there's even they're even promoting John Cena coming back. Like, I think you're right, dude. Like, they might be doing this.
It's going to happen, bro.
Like,
SummerSlam.
Here's the thing: is like The Rock has nothing planned next year on his movie schedule. I don't know all what Cena has planned next year. Like, I know he's definitely doing another season of Peacemaker. Thank God. I'm all for it, dude. Like, could we see like a small United States title run one more time from John Cena?
No,
I don't think. I don't see the point in it.
I don't see.
If he's coming back to push Theory.
Yeah, he's coming back to put Theory over. And if Theory's already going to get the the rub from Cena by being pushed over by Cena, he doesn't need. He doesn't need to go over Bobby Lashley. There's no point in sacrificing Bobby Lashley to give a guy a boost that he's already pretty much on schedule to get later on this month or in July. That's why I think the Theory Lashley feud is a terrible idea right now.
Yeah,
because what it would cost you in commodity of Bobby Lashley is not worth what you would gain on Austin Theory.
I get that. I get that. But who are they? He has to be fighting somebody relevant or in a feud with somebody relevant, because what's he doing between this and now and SummerSlam for him to be like, you know, okay,
fighting some other mid Carter.
He's going to straight come out and be like, you know, who you fought? You know what I mean? Who you relevant? Who you relevant?
Not necessarily. I don't think John Cena even has to do that, because like the seeds are already planted for their feud. Cena has already dropped him mentioned him by name in a TikTok video. They've already mentioned, so the seeds are already there. There doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a you don't measure up or you're not worthy enough to fight me or who have you beat. He doesn't have to build up any type of resume to be worthy of fighting John Cena. That's already there.
Yeah.
And like I said, just between now and then, he just defends his title against whatever other mid-carders or whoever is there. Just not Bobby Lashley, just not one of your top faces on the brand. You don't sacrifice one of your top faces to a mid-carder.
I see what you're saying, but I want to see Theory fight. I want to see Theory fight other people. Like I want to see him fight like, other top guys too.
I want to see him get there eventually. Yeah. Just not Bobby Lashley and not right now.
Yeah. Because if they're going to put Lashley as the top face, then Lashley has to win that feud. You know
what I mean?
Like if there's anybody he has not earned the right to fight against yet, it's Bobby freaking Lashley.
Yeah, that's true.
You basically don't want him to squash Bobby. That's what you said.
He hasn't earned it.
Yeah, that's
to me.
I know, but you gotta think about this. Of course, he haven't earned it, but that's the point. He is a heel. They want you to hate him. So of course, they're going to push him to fight and beat these guys that people love because he's a heel.
And that's the problem right there. Is him. But that's the problem. Is him beating Bobby Lashley. What it would cost Bobby Lashley is not worth what you would gain on Austin Theory. You might put over Bobby. You might gain something on Austin Theory as a heel, but what would it do to Bobby Lashley's character for him to lose to somebody who, quite frankly, in my opinion, is that far beneath him and in Austin Theory?
It depends on how he loses to him. That's the thing about it. It depends on how
clean pin cheating. It still doesn't matter. He loses to a guy like Austin Theory who is not on his level. That hurts him.
Austin Theory
that hurts him way more than it helps Bobby than it helps Austin Theory.
Oh, I feel you.
And when you have with WWE being in the condition that it is right now, with its such lacking of top baby faces, you can't afford to be sacrificing one of your top baby faces to a mid carder right now just to boost that mid carder, especially when that mid carder is already set to get a rub from a top baby face coming up soon.
I know
there's no point in double dipping on that right now.
I honestly don't even think Bobby is still asking for a match against Brock Lesnar, bro. He is not even
right.
He is not even chasing the title right now.
So let's put Bobby against somebody else.
Yeah, that's planting a seed for WrestleMania next year.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, I think Bobby has been in the game for a while. You know what I mean? He also was talking about his retirement and stuff like that and what he wants to do before it. So, I don't feel like anything Austin does to him is going to hurt Bobby. You know what I mean? It's just going to solidify Austin. He's the future. To Vince McMahon, he's the future. So everything else is irrelevant. You know what I mean? If he goes over on Bobby, I don't see much out of it. I don't see much like him hurting Bobby in any way.
I think Bobby absolutely hurts him. You talk about a guy that goes. It's about a guy who was at the beginning of this year was WWE champion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then 6 months later, he's losing to Austin Theory.
Yeah, the protege of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, listen.
Don't forget to put that in there.
I hear both your guys' sides, right? And you know what? Like it is hard to decide because I fucking totally get it from both angles. But at this point, at the end of the day, this match is way too soon. Austin Theory, if he needs to earn it, he needs to fucking earn it somewhere else because it's not here. You know, he's gonna earn it, but it's just not here and it's not today. And Lashley needs to be fucking squashing other motherfuckers besides Austin Theory. So, and you're right, dude. He just came off of being WWE champion this year, and he kind of got stiffed from it. So, like, yeah, I do see like a build up to WrestleMania to us getting Brock Lesnar versus Bobby again, which I would really like. I think we'd all like to see that. But
yeah,
from now until then,
legitimate match because the first one was kind of a shoehorn one, and you didn't get a clean finish out of the match.
Yep,
the first time. So yeah,
he doesn't have MVP this time.
I think WWE has penciled in for WrestleMania right now next year. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar in a clean one-on-one match, and I think they have penciled in The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think those two matches are penciled in next year.
I like that idea.
Honestly, I'm gonna just leave this here. I'll see you. I see you guys at WrestleMania with my man Austin Theory. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it.
He'll be
Austin
there.
Austin Theory at WrestleMania, and he going to surprise y'all. He going to surprise y'all, man.
He'll be there.
I can see it. I can see it.
And a grudge match with Shelton Benjamin.
Nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, man. I honestly think if Johnny Gargano decides to come back to WWE, it's going to be a WrestleMania match with Johnny Gargano and him. I think if he decides to come back before then, you know what I mean, and he comes back to WWE, I think that'll be a big thing with them because of their past. So that's what I'm thinking so far for Austin Theory, and that's to turn Austin Theory into a face for the next year, for after WrestleMania. That's what I say.
Potentially,
that's how I feel.
I just think it's too soon for Bobby.
Oh yeah,
Lashley.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I know.
That's like beating X-Pac one week and then taking all the Rock and then thinking you're ready to fight the Rock.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. I just don't leave anything out when it comes to freaking WWE, bro. They surprise you all the time, man.
They change plans mid-show. We know that.
I try to think like they do. You know what I mean? Sometimes I try to think like they do, and because the way they do things is just it's on a whim a lot. It's on a whim a lot, to be honest.
Very much so. I agree. Very much so.
Well, I love the controversy because if we didn't have any controversy on the show, then it would be very boring. If we were all just like, yeah, we all agree, it's the same thing. Let's move on.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a 30-second thing. But I have a perfect soundbite for when there is a little controversy.
Not this old routine. You pull a gun, I pretend I'm going to do what you want. Then I pull out my gun. We do our little John Woo standoff. Inevitably, your arm gets tired. Then you drop your gun, and we have nobody got shot sex.
Only Wayne. Oh, man.
Oh, dude. I think of so much crap during the day. This is what I do with my free time. I'm not listening to other podcasts, like Pop Culture Leftovers. But, yeah, moving on from these guys. So, okay, let's get to the thing I really wanted to talk about here. So, this stable, this Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, they got their win. So now they're gonna add somebody else to their group. I'm like, cool. But they're building up this big reveal, and then Finn Balor's music hit, and I think I was as confused as most people, and because I thought I was the one who kind of said maybe Finn Balor and Liv both turn at the pay-per-view, but instead it looks like they didn't do the turn, and they just only took one of them. So I was kinda right, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but kind of not.
I don't think
they kicked out.
I didn't think
leader.
Liz has enough, man. Liv didn't have enough for me to be with them. I'm just not sold on Liv like they want you to be. You know what I mean?
It takes one of them. Like, I would say Finn was the better choice.
Of course.
But yeah, now this was weird because they kicked Edge out, which we don't really see a lot of. Yeah, we talked about that before.
Exactly.
Kicking the leader out. So now we're supposed to forget all the shit that Edge did in the past few weeks, and now he goes back to getting his entrance theme back, and he goes back to being Edge, who he was a couple months ago. I mean, it's barely been 60 days since the creation of Judgment Day, and after one match, he's already been kicked out of Judgment Day, and it was an unexpected shock and a twist. But some of us feel like it happened way too soon, and some of us think it's because of Cody Rhodes leaving for a while, and that's why we're getting a sudden face turn because we need Edge as a face since he's leaving. So,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think here?
This is Edge. This is Edge. Giving Finn Balor his, I think it's going to be a Finn Balor Edge thing. You know what I mean? Which is going to be great. Finn Balor against Edge. I don't know if it will be Money in the Bank. I don't know if it will be SummerSlam, but it's going to be a build to a great match between Finn Balor and Edge, man. That's how I feel. I feel like Edge is going to take out Damian Priest. You know what I mean? And you got to remember also, Beth Phoenix. She wants to fight Rhea Ripley. She either wanted to fight her or be in a tag match with her. From what I know with her,
I would be interested in that. Beth Phoenix versus Rhea.
I could see I could see Beth Phoenix coming and helping out Edge. You know what I mean? Get back at them.
And AJ
you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with it all to an extent. But I think the one thing we have to keep in mind is that Judgment Day is being built up as the next major faction. So I could see Beth Phoenix coming back and joining up with Edge and putting over Rhea Ripley, just like Edge putting over Finn Balor and the group. I don't know if I would say that I think Edge would defeat Damian Priest, because I think that kind of weakens the group if Edge beats one and then loses to the other. I don't think that fully benefits the faction. But I think this is an elder statesman giving the younger, quote unquote, younger guys the rub the right way. Even if, regardless of whether they're turning Edge to a face because of Cody's absence or not, I think this is doing it the right way. He starts off the click or whatever, gives these guys put some spotlight on them by proxy of him, so that people are paying attention to them, and then they turn on him, stomp him out, get him out. Now they look strong, they look credible. You can draw a feud out with them, with Edge fighting and losing to Finn Balor and or Damian Priest, because I don't know. It really hasn't been established what the power dynamic is going to be within this group, whether they're going to have one guy stand above as the leader or whether it's going to be a shared thing. I think a shared thing would work better in this case, at least in the immediate future, where none of them stand as the definitive leader either way. So I think that will work. And yeah, you could bring in Beth Phoenix as well. And damn it, if you have any questions about Edge being seen as a babyface, all it takes is one phone call to Christian.
Yeah.
He getting beat down, he getting stomped out, have Edge get on the phone to call up the homie.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, hey, Christian, what you doing? I got a problem, man. You want to come down here and help me handle it? And they could show up and they could just both lose, which could help. Which, bringing in Christian, one gets you a huge pop, builds on that nostalgia thing, immediately puts Edge back in babyface camp, and then both of them can collectively give the rub to the Judgment Day to help elevate them. It works on all levels if they were to go that route.
Edge, Christian, and Beth Phoenix. Book it.
Exactly.
Book it now.
Edge, Christian, and Beth Phoenix.
Oh my God.
He could also he could also build some baby faces too while he's babyface. You know what I mean? Get a couple of young faces behind him on the other side, on the face side,
like Ricochet, to go against Mustafa Ali, right?
Go against the Judgment Day. Right, somebody else to build up, because it seems like that's what Edge has been doing since he's been back. You know what I mean?
You could go that route if you could pair him up with some younger guys. If he's like, oh man, I try to make a heel, but I don't know if
the day, man. That's what we're all thinking. That's the money one. That's the money shot. Everyone's like, yeah, that's a cool faction, all that, but like, come on.
Right. The Edge and Christian thing. Right, one, obviously that's fantasy booking. There's no guarantee that's gonna happen, because
I just want to see it.
Yeah. Right, also we don't know what Christian's doing right now. I don't even know if he's with another. Is he with AEW?
I think maybe he's still.
Yeah, he's with both. AEW. He's with TNA and he be on TNA and AEW.
Right, so I don't even know if they would have access to him. So they could go the route of maybe Edge trying to team up with some other younger talent. Just a matter of who among that younger talent pool are you going to sacrifice to the Judgment Day? Because ultimately, regardless of how this plays out, Judgment Day is coming out on top.
Well, yeah. I see what you're saying. They are coming out on top.
Yeah. So if you put it with younger talent, it's got to be younger talent that you're willing to sacrifice to Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you're going to see an Edge and AJ Styles team up after the feud that they've had. I don't know if they can just squash that beef. I think AJ Styles needs to move on in another direction.
Yeah.
And you could put him. You could maybe throw Mustafa Ali with him. I don't know what the reasoning behind it would be. You'd have to come up with some reason for him to do it. But I don't know.
The
best bet I think is the least likely one. That's the only problem with the direction that they've gone. Is the best way to play it out is the least possible way to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Something's got to roll, though. Something's got to roll. Edges, somebody's gonna come out there. Edge is usually a loner, but I feel like somebody's gonna come up to him and want to join him and be like, hey, let's do it.
There's no way he can 1v3 this.
Yeah. I think he's going to say, we got your back, and I don't know, man. We'll see though, but I hope they do this right. That's all I care about. Right. I hope they do it right. I would love for Vince to cut the check to Christian. That's all. Just stroke the check. That would be nice. I'm always down for Christian and Edge. That is the best case scenario in my opinion. Yeah. I just don't know if they could pull it off. Down for Christian. Exactly. Hey, man, I could see them. You know what I mean? There's a few NXT people who are ready to come up too. So we could see him bring some NXT people up who they would be okay to sacrifice because they're young and they're just coming up. You know what I mean? And just to put them out there, with NXT people, they like to put them out there just to show their skills, win or lose, and just to show that they can hang with the big guys, the big dogs. You know what I mean? So maybe he brings some NXT team or NXT guys up, and they, we see some magic happen, man. Yeah, I just don't know how credible that would be. Hey, you minor leaguers, come up here and help me fight these main event guys.
Yeah, right.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, man. You got to start somewhere.
I believe in you guys. Come on, help a pal out.
So let's talk about this main event. We get Alexa Bliss.
Oh wait, before we get to the main event, there's one thing we skipped over.
Oh, go for it.
The return of Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode and super kicking the fuck out of MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to go into big detail about it. All I'm going to say is, I guess Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are going to be the next sacrificial lambs to Omos because they need to keep him. They need to keep him. Yeah, they need to keep him as a monster. They need to keep him as a threat. So this appears to be the next thing.
Yeah,
they're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I thought for sure Bobby Roode was coming back as Bobby Roode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're coming back as face wrestlers. Which it's going to be kind of hard to buy for Dolph Ziggler because I still
wait. You think they coming back as face wrestlers?
Well, I think Roode is because I heard they've been doing his Bobby Roode shtick, his gimmick.
He's all glorious.
He was a straight up heel, bro.
That was his fate. Yeah, but he also did it as a face, though.
They could work as faces if they do them as like the prankster types, which is kind of the vibe that I got from the interview that they did. Like, Omos and the MVP were in the middle of doing their thing, and they just rudely came out and interrupt them and shit. And as soon as the MVP opened his mouth to try to say something, bat, super kick to the face. Like, that's gonna make fans cheer for you just because of MVP and Omos being the heels. And if you do something like that, so if they make them as like if they give them put them in that DX type vein where they're just pranksters giving people hell, that alone will make them baby faces.
That's true. You're right about that.
At least within this feud, until Omos crushes them, and then they can go right back to NXT.
Yeah,
crushes them.
Yeah.
So after that, we had a women's match. We had a fatal 4-way for a number 1 contender match, I believe. It was Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop versus Liv versus Rhea Ripley. We haven't seen Liv versus Bliss yet, and I kind of want to see that one-on-one. It's never happened before. I don't know if that's one day we can get something like that, a feud. But yeah,
why you out here promoting blonde on blonde violence?
I know.
Because why not?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not excited for that.
Why? Why are you not excited for that?
Because, man, I love Liv, and I just don't feel like she's freaking. I don't know, man. It's just I love Alexa. Like Alexa is serious.
so
Alexa is serious. Like I take her seriously.
Make him attack.
You know what I mean?
Have an
Especially
attack
in the
team.
ring. Like I love the way Alexa is in the ring and everything, and she's believable. I feel like Liv tries too hard. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I feel like she tries too hard right now. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
Right.
You know what vibe I get from a Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss match?
What's that?
Remember when you used to play Mortal Kombat and you go up the ladder and then you'd have to have that mirror match where you fight yourself?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But
That's the vibe. That's what I get from those.
Yeah, but just like a more watered down version of yourself.
Yeah. That's the vibe
yeah.
I get from that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Neither one of
think
those two are
that's-
distinct enough now for me to really be totally invested, especially ever since Alexa Bliss dropped the fake Harley Quinn gimmick.
Do you think that's why they kept them apart for so long?
Probably.
Because they're so similar?
So
Because they're so
similar.
similar,
Yeah. Like one of them, you put them too close together, one of them's going to eat the other.
yeah. Like you want to put them. You want to put them.
Not literally, like figuratively.
Put them in a tag.
Put them in a tag team and call them the Sparkle Twins. I don't know. You know what I
Hollywood
mean?
Blondes
There
2022.
you go. Something. Make them a tag team.
That is
But I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them fight each other. I just don't.
Because we
You know what I mean?
Doudrop. Okay, so we have Doudrop in this match, and we know that Doudrop is teaming up with Nikki Ash, right? Which hopefully she drops that superhero gimmick completely and becomes.
She will. She will eventually. She will.
So like, there's the tag team, and then you got in this scenario where Bliss and Liv both lost. I can see them forming a tag team because those two characters really have nowhere to go after this match. But I mean, if they're still trying to do the tag team division, that is an answer. But we have no idea right now where the tag team division is because nobody knows where Sasha and Naomi are because just like Carmen San Diego, they're somewhere. You know,
That's where they are. They're at home.
Yeah, they're at home.
And WWE is trying their best to bury them as much as they can, despite the fact that the fans aren't going to let it happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even though chances are we may never see them in the WWE again.
I know.
Yeah, that too.
It hurts.
But and then again, it can all. I don't know. It can all be something different. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe they went another way, and maybe this is all just a dream. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not a work.
I'm just saying.
There's no way in hell this is a work. Ain't nobody in WWE writing team this damn good.
I know. Hey. I'm just saying. If it
Ain't
is,
nobody had his stroke of genius in the middle of the night.
but it would be awesome. It would be awesome. An awesome way to bring them two back in a different way. You know what I mean? Like Sasha Banks comes back as a heel. Naomi comes back as a heel. You know what I mean?
At this point,
I mean, I thought they was going to put it with the bloodline for a minute. They were still talking. They still talking about it. They were still talking
Naomi
about
to
it.
come
Roman
back,
was talking about
go
it.
to the
But
bloodline, and you know what? For Sasha, if she goes to AEW, I would still love it because I was like, look at all the people she has never wrestled in AEW.
yeah,
I'm just like, let's do this. Like, come on. Like, we haven't had any real female talent crossover in a while.
Yeah.
I just don't think they could afford her. That's all. I'm just saying.
Tony Khan stroked that check.
They got way too much. They got way too much talent. They paying way too many people.
Man. Daddy was signing
Yeah.
a check.
Yeah, but there's a difference between an ex-WWE star and a Sasha Banks.
Oh, of course.
There are some people you stroke that
Sasha.
damn check for. And somebody on the level of a Sasha Banks,
But
yeah.
I just feel like some people that went to AEW, I don't know. I just feel like some of them just are still in limbo, or like.
Well, that's what happens after the fact.
Yeah.
After they're already there, then there's no telling what could potentially happen to her.
Yeah,
But as far as getting her and signing her, yeah.
That
If
would
you're
be
Tony Khan, you make that
It would
move.
definitely be a big jump for the women's division over there. It would. It would definitely be a big jump. Her and Jade Cargill would be a great matchup. You know what I mean? Especially on the mic and going at each other. Because they have that attitude. They both got that attitude. So I would see that as a great potential match. You know what I mean? For them two to go at it. Because if you look, Jade don't really have that chick to get that attitude back to her. You know what I mean? And make her feel threatened. You know? So
Right.
I could see that happening. I could see that happening.
Yeah, we got completely off the subject of the damn fatal 4-way match, though. I know. Anyway,
shows how much you was into it. You know.
Well, no, actually, I was actually
was going to win.
I was actually surprised. I was surprised that Rhea Ripley won because because I did not think that they were going to pull the Bianca Belair Rhea Ripley card so soon. Because after. I've always thought that was something that they were going to hold in their back pocket after Elimination Chamber. And that little brief moment where they got face to face and you saw the whole crowd rise up in anticipation of seeing these two clash. So I thought that they were like, oh, we got something there. We going to save that. At least I thought they would save that to like SummerSlam or something. So if they're potentially setting that up for Money in the Bank, I mean, it's kind of, like I said, it's a month early, which maybe time-wise doesn't seem like a big deal, but in terms of caliber of pay-per-view, to me, a Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair one-on-one is a SummerSlam caliber match, not a Money in the Bank, not a Money in the Bank caliber match. So that's why I was surprised that they went and had her win this match now. I thought they would have done it to I thought they would have done it with like an Alexa Bliss or somebody like that. Let Bianca Belair have one more throwaway feud before they or just have an in-between feud before they throw her into the next major feud, which would have been with the Rhea Ripley. I'm just surprised they just pulled the trigger this fast on it.
That's because I think Rhea is starting being with the Judgment Day and being what happened with the Judgment Day. Rhea is about to be a very big deal, and they might fight at Money in the Bank, but it won't be the last match. They'll build that up until SummerSlam. If it goes how they want it to go, and the people are invested in seeing Rhea and Bianca in that match, maybe that match falls through at Money in the Bank. Maybe it's a disqualification. Maybe something they build that match enough for it to go to SummerSlam. You know what I mean? That might that could happen.
Yeah, but isn't that something that's starting to wear a little thin now?
What's that?
Isn't that something that's starting to wear a bit thin now? Putting these people in their feud and they wrestle for 3 straight pay-per-views.
But that's what WWE do. That's what they do.
Need to though. I mean, do we need?
We think. I know we think. Hey, WWE shouldn't do that, but we all know how they do. You know what I mean?
Like,
how they do is erratic, just like we've been saying is erratic.
Of course,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think they needed to pull. I don't think they needed to rush into this one so soon.
Yeah, I know.
I think they should have saved this one for SummerSlam, and especially like I said, when you got all these other women wrestlers that you could easily sacrifice to Bianca Belair as the champion just to buy time until you get to your next major feud.
Yeah, but I just feel like they always try to build stuff to see what it's going to be.
And also, and all the and the other thing is from what I've heard that the rumor is they're going to go back to the Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for SummerSlam, which is another reason why I'm surprised.
I don't want to see that again.
Exactly.
Why?
And yet that's the running rumor that I've heard recently, that they're going to go back to that well. And if they're going to go back to that well for SummerSlam, it even further doesn't make sense for them to have a Bianca Belair Rhea Ripley feud now, because it's be pretty obvious that Rhea Ripley ain't going to win, which does not help Judgment Day at all.
All I know is between Bianca Belair and whoever she's fighting between now and SummerSlam, Bayley is coming back. That's all I know. And I think Bayley is going to win Money in the Bank. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think she's going to win Money in the Bank.
That's a good bet,
And
man.
I think she's going to be the heel to Bianca. You know what I mean?
She's coming back, but is she coming back to Raw or SmackDown?
I understand that too. But right now, how we thinking about the brand split being dead? I mean, come on. The Usos, you know what I mean? I know they've been doing it because they both tag team champions, you know what I mean? So they could be on either show, you know what I mean? But I mean, if the brand split is really ending, I mean, do we really care? You know?
To a certain extent, yeah, because even if it's to a certain extent, not whether it's official or unofficial, the people who really do care are those networks.
Oh well,
and
I know
Fox
that.
is not going to be happy seeing that stack of talent on Raw while they're sitting there with SmackDown and all they got is Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. So honestly, if my money was on it, Bayley is coming back and she's going to SmackDown.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I feel you, but it's like
because I think SmackDown needs Bayley more than Raw does.
Who just had the who was mainly the pay-per-view this past week? Raw, right?
Yeah, this one was mostly Raw.
Raw had the pay-per-view, so I know that I'm wondering if the networks are making money off, you know, just having mostly their people on the pay-per-views. You know what I mean?
Networks don't get pay-per-view money.
No.
That's all WWE.
I'm just saying it's making their people, the people that's on their roster, you know what I mean, look good in a way. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they're doing these pay-per-views now. You know what I mean? But it's a little weird how the pay-per-views going. But I don't know. I really don't know how it works with working with the networks right now, because.
But even if that's the case,
keep everybody happy. But.
Yeah. But even if that's the case, as you're explaining it, that just furthers the argument for Bayley to go to SmackDown, because SmackDown needs her more than Raw does.
I know what you mean, but who is the baby face on SmackDown?
Ronda Rousey,
and
who needs a heel to fight right now, and that would be Bayley.
But I also heard that Charlotte's coming back early. Now
she might, but again, you going back in that well again?
SmackDown is probably the right place for Bayley, because who else? Who else is going to go against Ronda? And Bayley and Ronda have not gone at it yet.
That's true.
That'd be a good
SummerSlam
match.
I think that's more of a WrestleMania to me.
You think so?
Boy, Bayley and Ronda. I think that's more a WrestleMania caliber match.
I think.
So
because they never had it before. You know what I mean? It's new. It's new.
So
I don't want to see Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania again. I don't want to see Becky and Charlotte at WrestleMania again.
I don't want to see Becky and Ronda again.
Yeah,
I mean, not Becky. I mean, I said not Becky and Ronda. I meant Charlotte and Ronda. I don't ever want to see Charlotte and Ronda again.
I don't want to see any of them again. So when you say it like that, who is there to do, unless they're going to unite the women's title now, and you got Bianca Belair against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
WrestleMania is still a long ways out, though. Like,
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but
Ronda still got she got to do something with that belt between now and then.
Yeah, but are they going to unite the women's title too? Like,
doubt it.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, they could, but I don't see that happening. I haven't seen any inklings that they plan on doing that, considering that they do have some big name stars in the women's division enough to warrant keeping those titles split. You just got to have competition for them to defend the titles against, which Bianca Belair is not lacking for in the slightest bit on Raw, but
And
Ronda
where's,
Rousey is absolutely lacking for on SmackDown.
And where's Raquel Rodriguez on SmackDown? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, she's on SmackDown. Who else is on SmackDown?
But she's still new.
Shows, like, there's a lot of
I know
women on
she's
SmackDown.
I know she's new, but I know Vince really likes her, and so he's going to push her. But her and who else is on SmackDown right now?
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah,
that's the whole point.
What? What about all those other names? Isn't Shotzi?
Huh?
Shotzi Blackheart, isn't she on SmackDown? Aaliyah.
Did you say Lita?
Aaliyah.
Oh, I thought you said Lita.
Aaliyah.
Lita's in fucking Honduras or somewhere right now, chilling. She ain't thinking about no goddamn SmackDown.
Isn't Natalia? Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Shayna
All these
Baszler.
fine wrestlers in the locker room just not doing anything. Xia Li is undefeated, by the way.
Why is Shayna Baszler with Natalia? Why isn't Shayna Baszler the top heel on SmackDown, bro? I'm sorry.
They ain't got shit else to do with her. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey would be a great SummerSlam match.
Yes, it would. That would come on, two friends going at it. You know what I mean? Shayna's definitely a main heel. You know what I mean? That's Ronda Rousey's a crazy baby face. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
All right,
like,
give me
Shayna Baszler.
But you know, at the same time, theoretically, that could also be a WrestleMania caliber match.
Yes, it could be. You're right.
Given their MMA credentials.
You're right about
Shayna
that. If they
Baszler
build
start
it right,
crushing
they definitely
fucking
could.
women in the locker room. Start with Natalia.
I thought Shayna Baszler would have when she came. I was like, oh, it's over for these women. It's over. She was so crazy in NXT, man. And I thought once she came to the main roster, she was going to kill. I mean, I thought about Asuka too in the beginning, which she went slow, but she still came out, winning some chips and stuff like that. But Shayna Baszler, man, I'm real high on her as a heel, and they just ain't using her, man, like they should. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't want her with Natalia. I don't want her with Natalia, bro. Come on. I got respect. I got respect for Natalia. I got all the respect in the world for Natalia. Like, I know Natalia has been here. She's done, like, her career is, crazy. She's put in the work like crazy, man. Like, she's always there. I do not take anything away from Natalia, but Shayna Baszler needs to be pushed, like right now. I'm sorry. I don't understand what they're doing with her, but you looking for hills and you're looking for this and you're looking for that. Like, she's just as good as Charlotte in the ring, if not better, man. I'm sorry. She knows how to hurt people, and that's what you need as a heel.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah. It'd be nice for her to Shayna Baszler. It'd be nice for her to win the women's Money in the Bank.
Exactly, and
let her be that lingering threat for both the Raw or SmackDown champion.
Yes.
Always hovering in the background, like I could strike on either one of y'all at any given moment.
Just go around hurting people. Just go around being the Triple H of the women's division. Just go around hurting people, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
break them arms, step on them arms, break all them arms in them. You know what I mean?
She put like the out permanently.
Yes. She could be just like
Triple H. Yeah, she did. She basically ended Nia Jax's career.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's a problem. She's a problem in the ring, and she makes it look good. You know what I mean? And the same thing with Pete Dunne. You got her running around being Butch. The dude is an assassin in the ring. What are you doing? He was undefeated. He had the title for how long? The UK title?
600 something days.
Like, come on, man. Like, that dude is a beast, man. And now you got him running around here looking like an Irish mob,
man.
Stray dog.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on forever about how misused certain talent is in the
my
WWE.
God.
That's a never-ending discussion.
Unfortunately, fellas, we've been on for almost like 4 hours. But I know we could sit here and talk about Raw all day. But yeah, so really, other than like what happened on Raw news wise, I mean, we just heard about Cody Rhodes being out for about 6 months, possibly.
Mhm.
Other than that, there really is no other news. There was NXT tonight, but who watches that? Really?
Yeah.
Nobody.
I-
That's
and
why
you know
you
what?
guys are available.
I really need to watch it, though. I really need to watch it. I you know what I mean? Because I understand that all those people are gone. All those great people are gone. You know what I mean? But I feel like I need to give it a chance, and I need to watch it because I need to know these people. I need to know them when they come to the main roster. I need to know what they're capable of, and just when you watch NXT, sometimes you can tell what's going to happen on the main roster eventually. You know what I mean? So I just need to watch this and watch see what's going on there.
Or they could be the next name on the long list of misused exceptional talent.
I know you're right. You're right. But I did watch. I just started watching. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I am going to finish it. I watched the In Your House, and so far what I've seen was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty good. And I know a lot of people don't like to watch it because they know, they build this talent and then they come to the main roster and they do them dirty and stuff like that. But I don't know. I still love wrestling, and NXT was some great wrestling. You know what I mean? So I just got to try to get back into it.
Well, with that said, that was a hell of a review, guys.
Yeah,
nice pay-per-view,
that was
nice
good.
Raw.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Absolutely. Dave, if let's let these people know. Me and Dave have a fantasy league, of wrestling fantasy league, with some other people, and I have been champion for 168 days, and I finally lost, and I lost to Dave, and
oh yeah,
we actually have like a physical title, and I have to like run it over to his house this week. So I have like this nice like silk bag. I put it in. I run it over to his house.
Bring my baby back.
Yeah. So you are now the 7-time champion.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Nice 7-time. Seven-time. That's good. Good money. Good money.
But,
Booker T status.
Yeah.
Status. I feel you. Yep. Booker T status.
I'm coming for
that. Man.
That 9th title.
And you know what? I'm gonna just say one thing about that. When I looked at my roster, bro, I looked at my roster and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah. But at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, I think I went with the future of WWE more than the present. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when I look at the roster, it's like, I tried to go off of what I usually do, and I'm like, damn, But I think I'm gonna be good. I think I'm gonna be good. Good.
My girlfriend's still the underdog. I feel
she
bad
had
because
some picks.
nobody on her roster was on because a lot of her picks are from the SmackDown roster.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
or
She
they're
got her
out.
Cody win.
Yeah, that's about it. So. Yeah, but
yeah.
So Dave, if people want to harass you and write terrible, nasty letters to you, where can they contact you?
Let me think. I'm trying to think I'm terrible with my ets, man. I'm terrible. I got to get my ets going.
Your Instagram isn't like Chef Boyardee or something?
Yeah, my Instagram Chef Boyardee 1420 /1427. I think my Twitter it's Slay Alive.
Yeah, you're on Twitter.
But yeah, I got Twitter. You know what I mean? I got Twitter. I got Facebook, all that good stuff. But I'll try to. The next time I'm on, I'll have all my stuff ready.
Yeah, have you
so I can
get your shit together, man. Just get your shit together. Just get it all together. Bundle it all together. Just get your shit together.
Hey,
just get your shit together. Just get together.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. Got you next time.
Dre, like, if people wanna chat you up, where can they contact you?
Like I said, as always, you can find me on Discord in the PCL or PCW group under the name Outlaw Star.
That's right, man. And if anybody would like to write into the show, you can contact me on Twitter or Instagram, or even just email me at semidrychicken@gmail.com. And yeah, like I said earlier in the show, like, I'm down to play some 2K22 with some people. So I think it'd be interesting to play with some people from the podcast. I'm a pretty damn good wrestler. I'm just gonna say that now. It pisses off a lot of my friends. I am a pretty damn good wrestler, but
you're gonna have some competition, bro. Because all I gotta do is I gotta go touch up, bro. I gotta go touch up.
All I'm saying is,
and then I'll be ready for you.
Literally a head start, so you have no fucking excuse. Like, like you had a nice head start. Everybody had a head start.
And his name is John Cena. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Ruthless.
No, it's true. It's damn true.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you guys. I'm going home.
Bye. Have a great time.
He was capable of doing. But somewhere along the way, he forgot about who helped him get back on that path.
When I'm up for the Hall of Fame, I'll go in 2 times for what I've done in my career, making you champ twice. Needed me to rescue you from your blonde ex-wife. You're welcome. That added 10 years to your shelf life. Made a name with the hurt business and you distance yourself. Remember Shelton, remember Prime Bobby, you did have help. Almighty, this is the last hand that you'll get dealt. Let's go down memory lane, Bobby, fasten your seatbelt. ECW champ, yeah, that was a joke. As far as classic brands go, that was like new coat. A 273-pound pushover. 6'3", perfect poster boy pose. Silver medal in 02, sums up your career. Bob, you would have won gold if MVP was there. Never saw Lashley's ladies until the VIP lounge. That's a perk of having the most valuable player around. And I know you're looking at me thinking life ain't fair. Mad at me because I still have all of my hair. What the hell? I don't believe it! Why is MVP doing this? I'm the